But that nigga a phantom, an apparition, a ghost, if you will, a ghost of Hebrews past. The nigga who don't sleep, that nigga is not human. All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. We'll go to John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures. For in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Alahym in you. I come by Abba's name, you receive me not. Another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How you can believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Alahym only. Do not think that I will accuse Abba. There's one that accuses you, even Moses, to whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? So all esteem and praise to Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. Let the work of the house of Alahym alone. Let the governor of the Yahudim and the elder of the Yahudim build the house of Alahym in its place. Moreover, I make a decree that you shall do to the elders of these Yahudim for the building of the house of Alahym, that the king's goods of the tribute beyond the river, forthwith expenses be given unto these men, that they be not hindered. And that which they have need of, both young bullocks, rams, lambs, for burnt offerings of the Alahym and Shamahim, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the appointment of the priest, which at Jerusalem, let it be given them day by day without fail, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet savors unto the Alahym and Shamahim, and pray for the life of the king and of his sons. Judges chapter 9, verse 8, man.
The trees went forth a time. The trees went forth to anoint a king over them, and they said unto the olive tree, reign you over us. But the olive tree said unto them, should I leave my fatness?
Shalom, man.
By
Shalom,
me they honor Alahym and man, and go to be promoted over the trees. And the tree said to the fig tree, come you, reign over us. But the fig tree said unto them, should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said the trees unto the vine, come you, reign over us. And the vine said unto them, should I leave my wine, which cheer Alahym and man, and go to be promoted over the trees?
Shalom, brother.
Then said all the trees unto the bramble, come you, reign over us. And the bramble said unto the trees, if in truth you anoint me king over you, come put your trust in my shadow, and if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedars of Lebanon.
That's good, right? We were talking about that breastplate, right? Because what was in Ezekiel 28. So this is what I'm going to do. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, man, verse 1. Let it go.
But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord come as a thief in the night. For when they shall say shalom and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, as shall veil upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. You are all children of the light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet the hope of salvation. For Alahym have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Master Yahushua HaMashiach.
That's right.
Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him.
That's good, right? You heard what he said, that you put on the what?
Breastplate.
Of what?
Faith and love.
Faith and love. That's what that breastplate got to have in it. So now we're going to go to Ephesians chapter 6. Y'all know what's in it. 6 and 10.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Alahym, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Alahym, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
Have it on what?
The breastplate of righteousness.
I didn't want you to keep that in mind. Go ahead.
And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of shalom.
That's right.
Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
That's good. So, Isaiah 59, verse 11.
We roar all like bears and mourn sore like doves. We look for judgment,
But what?
But none.
But what?
But none.
And what about salvation?
It is far from us.
Why is it far away from
For
you?
our transgressions are multiplied before you, and our sins testify against us.
Your sins do what?
Testify against
Your
us.
sins do what?
Testify against us.
Tell them what testify means, just in case they don't know.
Testify is not to answer, to respond, to testify, to speak, to shout, to answer, to respond to.
Go to Isaiah chapter 3, verse 7.
In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be a healer, for in my house neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Yehudah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings against Yahuwah to provoke the eyes of his esteem. To show their countenance do witness against them.
To show their what?
Countenance.
What it do?
Do witness against them.
What it do?
Witness against them.
What else?
And they declare their sin as Sodom.
They do what?
Declare their sin as Sodom. They
what?
hide not.
They don't what?
Hide not.
See, let me tell you something, right? He said your sins testify against you. We read last night, right? Or one of these days. He said what? Everybody got to give account for everything they done in this body, whether good or evil. See, one thing about it, see, how do your sins testify against you? What the book say what happened when you commit sin? Your blood be upon you. See, let me show you something, man. Isaiah chapter 1, man. Give me verse 9. Make it 7. Isaiah 1 and 7.
Your country desolate, your cities burn with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and desolate is overthrown by strangers. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except Yahuwah of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant.
We'd have been like what?
Shalom, Sodom.
As what?
As
Shalom,
Sodom.
Reynolds. As what?
Sodom.
What happened with Sodom?
We should have been like unto Gomorrah.
What happened to Sodom? Her sins testified against her too. How did it happen? It said the cry come up to heaven. He said, let me go down there. Let me see what's going on. That would have said, didn't it? Go ahead.
Hear the word of Yahuwah, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our Alahym, you people of Gomorrah.
He said, you rulers of who?
Sodom. So
guess who he talking to? All the people who want to teach the word and this, that, there, and the third. He said, you rulers over Sodom. You the one teaching them to be like that. Go ahead.
Give ear unto the law of our Alahym, you people of Gomorrah. To what purpose the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Saith Yahuwah, I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts. I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of goats.
That man say, what's the purpose of this, man? Listen to him.
When you come to appear before me, who have required this at your hand?
Who asked you for this?
To tread my courts. Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me.
It's an abomination.
The new moons and Shabbats, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. Iniquity, even a solemn meeting. Your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hates. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear. And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you.
Why?
Yea, when you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your
Why?
hands are full of blood.
Your hands are full of what?
Blood.
Full of what?
Blood.
You got hands full of sin.
Wash you, make you clean.
See what? Cease to do what?
Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil.
You know what's always funny to me? Shalom, Jay. You know what's always funny to me? Niggas always be screaming, God said, come as you are. No, he didn't. There ain't nowhere in the book. That man ain't never told nobody that. He ain't tell you come at. Who gonna tell you? You know where you get that from? You listen to my damn Mary J. Blige. He not finna love you as you are. Then she got a song about it. Take me as I am. Who the hell gonna do that? Why would you do that? That don't sound good on the record. You know what I'm talking about? Now, so I guess if it's a crackhead, you gotta love them, huh? Take me as I am. He smoked crack. He always in your purse. You can't keep no money in your bank account because he take it. See, you know what that take me? See, you know what happens with that take me as I am? That's how you end up with little buddy who was upset with Akila in the beat. Because you knew she was a whole long time ago. You know what I'm talking about? You know how you know that? I don't give a damn because she's famous. Any woman who will get on the internet and clap booty cheeks is a whore. Doesn't matter if she's famous. If you get on the internet and clap your booty cheeks and upload it for other people to view, you are a whore. There's no way around that. That's not a woman you marry. That's not a woman you put a baby in. That's not a woman you take seriously. See, we think because they famous, it means something. I don't give a damn if it's the hoe down the street. As a man, once you see she post stuff online for attention, that's not a woman you deal with. But guess what? You know what this jackass was doing? He was the one holding the camera shooting it. It's the same way when you done seen videos of Sierra clapping her booty cheeks. Guess who was holding the camera? You got to be a pure beta male scent mangina to hold the camera for your old lady while she popping her thought pocket and then watch her post it. Come on, go girl, you do it. You was a damn fool. Then you're going to be shocked when you find another man wee-wee in her mouth. Well, what you thought was going to happen? Oh, no, man, you can't marry no woman who posts on the internet looking for attention, much less post on the internet popping her cheeks. That's not a wife at all, under no circumstance. But see, nobody didn't want to hear that. You know how many women that all that stuff came out where they were just talking about, oh, if a man would have told you not to wear that, oh, he just got to deal with it. Those are women you don't marry. But see, this is the thing. You ain't supposed to be involved with a woman who like to dress like that anyway. And it don't matter if you in the word. You can't meet a woman who's dressed like a prostitute and then expect her not to dress like a prostitute because you a whole old man now. That's who she is, my nigga. Why you trying to get her to change who she is? She's not going to change who she is, bro. That's who she is. She's a whore. Period, point blank. It is what it is. You ain't got to like it or agree with it. It is what it is. Because guess what? How many times I done told you, you can't love a bum nigga off the couch who like to play mad in that do dirty house to go get some money. It ain't nothing you can do for him to get him to stop going to do dirty house. He gonna keep going around there playing mad and doing nothing. So it ain't no difference. See, you want to look at people and think you can love somebody into being something that they not. No, that nigga is who he is. You need to leave that nigga alone. If that nigga don't want no money, he ain't gonna never want no money. If she want to walk around half naked, she got to understand something as a man. See, it's different for a lady to an extent. You know, the woman you choose to marry is a representation of the level of man you are. So you go marry a woman who like to dress half naked, that speaks to what type of man you are. See, I know some people like to see, well, they celebrity. I don't give a damn about that. You think of somebody famous that give them a pass? That's supposed to not mean something? Nigga, I don't even, nigga, what is this whole did other than being a movie as a child? What has she done? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Do you know this woman had an album? Nobody knew. It's recent too. But you can't respect. These hoes go outside with wrestling suits and drawers on. These hoes, you seen it? You seen it on Duval Day, all them hoes that were walking past with singlets on. Them hoes had the Big Show outfit on. That's what they call them. Yeah, they call singlets. And red like what Bret Hart used to wear. That's a singlet. That's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a singlet. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no top, ain't no bottom. It's just one. It's a singlet. You know what I'm saying? That's what Andre the Giant used to wear. You know what I'm saying? And Mother Sharona just mentioned she's a new mother. But see, this is the thing. If you was a hoe before you had a baby, you're going to be a hoe after the baby. And you know what some of these dumb hoes' logic was? Well, if he would marry her, let me tell you something. It don't matter if she was married or not. If you a bald-headed scallywag before you get married, you're going to be a bald-headed scallywag afterwards. Getting married ain't going to be like, I ain't going to go outside with my booty cheeks on and let another nigga sing to me. Man, I wouldn't care who you were. Man, if you know, I told y'all last night, right? See, with pimping, you ain't supposed to look another one man in the eye. Man, I wouldn't give a damn if you were famous. You ain't supposed to let another man serenade you and you know you got a husband at the house. See, some people, when they ain't married, the nigga, he put a baby in her, what the hell you call it? Oh, so if once they go get a license for Mr. Charlie, that make it better. She done already did the greatest thing she could ever do for him. She gave him a baby. And she gave him a son on the first go-round. She can't do no greater than that. It don't get more husband and wife than that. But see, that don't matter out here. That don't matter out here no more. See, he put himself in a bad situation. I literally seen, that's why I put that on there. That woman was like, oh, you need to shut up. You the babysitter. Because she make more money than him. That's why you don't fool with a woman who make more money than you. Because that's how they going to handle it. Because most women can't handle that. You got very few women who could make more money than they do and not act the way that most of them women be acting when you see in them comments how they were talking about that man. They were talking about that man like he smoked crack. She a millionaire. So because she a millionaire, they got it in their mind that whatever that woman want to do, he got to let her do it. But he did what you supposed to do. If you ain't like it, you leave. You ain't finna son me. I don't give a damn who you is. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, you don't want to be married nothing like that. Book tell you that, man. Show it to them just in case they don't know. Proverbs chapter 7, man, verse 10. Book tell you that.
And behold, there met him a woman, the attire of a harlot.
The attire of a who?
Of a harlot.
See, right there, book trying to tell you.
And subtle of heart.
And subtle of what?
Of heart.
She's
loud and stubborn.
She what?
She's loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house.
She don't never be home.
Now without, now in the streets. And
now pause for a second, right? Now, I didn't read back up about verse 7. This the type of man Solomon said he was looking out his window to see if there was a man who had some understanding to know to avoid a woman like this. See, this is a thing where people get the game twisted. This is not indicative of all women. Nevertheless, if you fit that criteria, this is the type of woman you're supposed to tell your son to avoid. Go ahead.
And beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding.
He was void of what?
Understanding.
He had no insight.
Passing through the street near her corner, and he went to her house. He went the way to her house.
So he void of understanding. He don't know what he dealing with.
In the twilight, and the evening, and the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman, the attire of a harlot and subtle of heart.
First thing you supposed to know, if she dressed like a hoe, you supposed to leave her alone.
She's loud and stubborn. Her feet abide
so
not in her house.
So guess what? If she loud and stubborn, you supposed to leave her alone. If she a busybody, she don't know how to mind her own damn business, you supposed to leave her alone. Y'all already know what they say now. Y'all might not know. You know how they tell you about this here, man. You know, boys in the street will tell you run across a woman and she keep a manicured genital area. That's a woman who busy. They talking about single women. You ain't talking about somebody who got a husband. They say you can tell the women who won't get off too tough because they don't keep their growing area manicured. You know what I'm saying? Might be a little bushy. They say you got to be careful with the women. They always like manicured all the time. She get run. I'm just telling you, this is what women will tell you. Who out here to let you know. Man, look at man, if you want to know the game, how to spot a hoe, you got to hang with hoes because they'll tell you. I knew a lot of hoes in my day. They'll tell you what, hey man, this the game, this how they kick it. You know what I'm saying? They let you know so you don't get got. The only way dudes gonna know it is if they deal with women like that. A lot of dudes don't deal with women like that. But if you be around some hoes, I'm talking about some real hoes. I'm talking about prostitutes, women who use men for tricks. Not that junk talking about I take a nigga out on a date to get a free meal. Nigga, that ain't no trick. He just a dummy. I'm talking about women who deal with men who are tricks. They'll tell you, hey, man, you don't want to be fooled up with this kind of woman. This how they move. This how they operate. This how they kick their game. Come on, man, you got grown women who will look a man in the face and know that ain't his baby and put it on him. Go ahead, man.
Now without, now in the streets, and lying in wait at every corner. So she called him and kissed him with an impudent face, said unto him, peace offerings with me, this day have I paid my vows.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore came I forth to meet you, diligently to seek your face, and I have found you.
I found you, baby.
I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved, with fine linen of Egypt. I perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves.
Come on to the high. Hold on, but see, look how she got him. She kissed him in the mouth. Woohoo! He all amped up. What the book of Proverbs told you in chapter 6, man. He said, don't lust after that woman beauty with your eyelid. And guess what? He finna get himself murdered. It's a married woman. See, she just like what's in Proverbs. She wiping for her mouth and say, I've done no evil. Come over here to Proverbs 23, man. Look at verse 24. I'm trying to tell you, see, it's too, man. You know what a lot of these boy problem out here, man? They too worried about getting laid instead of getting paid, man. You know what I'm talking about? See, I'd rather get paid. I ain't worried about getting laid. You know what I'm talking about? I'd rather get paid, man. Let me get some money. You know what I'm talking about? When you got that type of mind, you don't get caught up with the folly. When you think with your wee, that's how you get caught up. Listen what he tells you.
The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begat a wise shall have joy of him. Your father and your mother shall be glad, and she that bare you shall rejoice. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes observe my ways.
Well, listen what he said. My son, give me what?
Your heart.
Give me what?
Your heart.
He said, let me get your mind, son.
And let your eyes observe my ways. For a whore.
Look upon how I move, because a whore is a what?
A deep
and
ditch,
a strange woman.
A narrow pit.
And she lying wait for who?
As a prey.
As a who?
As a prey.
What the book say the devil go do? Going about as a roaring lion, looking who he may devour. You got to be on top of your game. Who she said, and she do what?
Increase the transgressions among men.
Man, you ever been around people who bring around hoes? All hoes do is increase rebellion. That's all they do. Because the dude going to rebel to please her. What I told you last night, man. You can't never live your life to please no woman. You got to please God, and everything else come flow out of that. You live your life to please a woman, you'll be a slave for the rest of your days. You know what I'm talking about? Because you're going to always have to do it. Because what I mean by that is she will try to persuade and convince you to rebel against what you're supposed to do to keep her happy. And you'll end up in a situation like Solomon was in. Didn't it say even outlandish women called them to sin? Well, why did the outlandish women cause them to sin? Because a whore is a deep pit and a strange woman is a narrow pit. And she increased the transgressors amongst men. He was living his time that, even though he was old, to please them women. His focus went to them. He's got to stay on your whore. See, this is only indicative if you're a whore. See, if you're not a whore, if you're not a strange woman, this don't apply to you. So if you're sitting around with your panties in a bunch, gritting your teeth, you might be a whore. It's the same way like this here, right? If we talking about a bum nigga who don't want to do nothing, and you getting all upset, you know I done had niggas who was mad with me and stopped coming around here because we were talking about that. Nigga thought I was talking about them. I didn't know you were sleeping on the couch in this woman's house, living off her. I ain't know that. I don't delve into niggas' personal finances. Nigga, I don't know what your life look like. What I look like asking niggas, so how much money you make? Your old lady taking care of you? It ain't none of my business. God bless Brother Langford. That ain't none of my business. I'm just letting y'all know that I do not, what's the word we're looking for? I do not dig, seek, pry. You know what I'm talking about? Go on excursions to find out y'all personal business. You know why? Because it's your personal business. If you wanted to share, then you would share it. If you didn't share, that means you didn't care for me to know it. And I ain't finna work too hard to find it out. You know what I'm talking about? Because it ain't none of my business. And you ought to live your life like that. I lived my whole entire life like this. Even more so when I got in the street. You know how much more peaceful and trouble-free your life be when you mind your damn business? You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got to worry about nobody coming back. I heard you said this, or did you do? You ain't got to worry about none of that. Because I mind my damn business. Straight up and down. I know that more people, from what I've been told, because I ain't never been in no church, that they are, you know what I'm saying, that they be like, you know, the pastors and the preachers always be, so Brother Johnson, what Brother such and such got? I don't understand that. If you want to know what Brother Bobby got going on, why the hell you just ain't ask Brother Bobby? What you asking Brother Johnson for? What he gonna tell you? I heard he been smoking crack. And y'all ain't gonna help him? That'd be some junk if a nigga be like, well, I heard he was smoking crack. And y'all ain't helping? Y'all just sat around and talked about the nigga smoking rock. Nobody thought about taking him to rehab? Y'all ain't come tell me we think he got a drug problem. We need to have an intervention. You just gonna sit there and talk about the man smoking crack. Y'all niggas ain't right. You smoking crack, Michael? We know you like to smoke crack. You like to smoke that chocolate crack, though. Not that crack in the pipe. The crack you put in the baking pan. We heard about you. Yeah, we heard about your bacon. You don't bring us nothing. No, I'm just talking with that. I'm just messing with you. I ain't heard nothing about no bacon. Come on back to where you was at?
Going Proverbs 7.
Yeah. I didn't want you to show you that, man. It's a certain type of woman you gotta avoid. Yeah, we flew in Isaiah 1. We need to go back to Isaiah 59. Just a certain type, because you know that's been a big deal lately, man. Some people like, oh, he wasn't mad with the outfit. He was mad with another man singing to his old lady. Well, who the hell wouldn't be? Then they want to call you insecure. They ain't got nothing to do being insecure. I don't want to fool with a woman who gonna play with this man with me and come back to me. That ain't got nothing to do with being insecure. I'm supposed to be cool with her like this here. You done did, man. That boy, man, Usher don't even like women anyway. Then I'm even more upset. They say that nigga got hurt. Come on, man. I don't know if he got herpes or not. He got sued for it though. He got sued by a fat chick. Said he gave her herpes. I'm not making that up. He did. He got sued by a fat chick. I don't know. I don't know the outcome of that case. Huh?
The fan base went up too.
You know what I'm talking about? Hey, man, that's what he liked. That's what he liked. I ain't mad at him. You know what I'm saying? You like what you like. Win-win. Shoot, man, hanging with Puffy and Jermaine Dupri. Ain't no telling what happened to him. Yeah, Puffy did some puffing. That boy ain't been right since. I mean, you already know his career over with. Anytime a nigga go to performing in Las Vegas on a regular basis, your music career is over. That's what that means. That's what musical acts go to die. But it's good money for them. Yeah, Anita Baker. Absolutely. Caribbean open. Nobody looking for Anita Baker. Who's looking for Anita Baker record? I ain't looking to buy one. I mean, you know why she on tour? She said about 4 or 5 years ago that was her last tour. The money dried up. Gotta hit that road. I've been told y'all, man, don't be looking at them entertainers like they really can. Them niggas got a job, and them niggas got to work just like you got to work. Them niggas work till they dead. It's very few of them niggas were going crazy because they say Nelly sold his catalog. Nigga ain't sold a record in 10 years. Yeah, I know it. He was at Clay County Fair. He was at several fairs performing and people were clowning him. But they probably cut him a check. I guarantee you if he went and performed at that fair, they paid him at least 10 bands for his time. I mean, it's a show. A show is a show. A booking is a booking.
They paying them.
They paying them. Now, I mean, most of us look at how he went from hot in here to doing this here because he ain't hot in here no more.
I don't be assuming that them be in this bread.
It do though. It really do though. Them niggas don't be having money like we think they got money, man. Unless they done actually leverage something in the business world type deal, them boys need every check from a show. Man, a lot of them boys living check to check because they lifestyle is expensive. You know what I'm saying? Their cost of living is so high. Them boys got to grind like that because very few of them are gonna live below their means. You know what I'm talking about? So you got this big old house and these expensive cars and you done bought all this jewelry and you're going to have to do the Clay County Fair till you're 60. You know what I'm talking about? Then they might have some business ventures that, like Mark Brunel went bankrupt. Nigga invested in real estate, Whataburger flopped for him. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga lost a lot of money. Nigga lost a lot of money. Man, look here, man. Just because a nigga play sports don't mean he a businessman. And just because a nigga can sing and rap don't mean he a businessman. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I had read the article. I think they was saying, I know that Diddy never paid. They was talking too about Ace Hood. Ace Hood had done guys doing bread and this have like he opened like a chain of gyms or something.
Yeah, he got because he got in shape. But I wouldn't recommend anybody open a gym because that's one of the worst businesses to open behind a nightclub. Just because you could lose a lot of money unless you train the niggas in that. You train the niggas in there, you can make some money. Some people make moves, but it's going to be more people be. Because, see, look here, man. A musician's shelf life is about the same as an NFL or NBA athlete, 3 to 5 years. So they have to maximize them. See, we just talk about the people who been around. You talk about a Puffy and a LL Cool J or a Jay-Z, but for every one of them niggas, it's a nigga you be like, remember that nigga? You got to pass to Troy. Ain't nobody talking about that nigga. And he wasn't ever that large. P had a strong run, but he took his money and leveraged it.
That was crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like Cam had a run, but you see what he doing. You gotta do something else. But that nigga got horse teeth. Come on. These nuts. That nigga Cam. Cam. Killer Cam. Ain't your boy. You don't know that nigga. You don't met him at that man. You don't know his mama.
Mustang.
His mama dead. Yeah, it is. He posted it. She died by. I did on a bit serious. His mama passed a couple months ago. Isaiah 59 and 12.
For our transgressions are multiplied before you, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions with us, and our iniquities we know them. And transgressing and lying against Yahuwah and departing away from our Alahym.
He said you rebelling and lying on man, on the man.
Speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood.
Uttering from the heart what?
Words of falsehood. And judgment is turned away backward. Justice stand afar off, for truth is fallen in the street.
Equity
cannot enter.
Truth fail.
And he depart from evil, make himself a prey.
Yahuwah
saw and displeased him no judgment.
And he saw what?
That no man
and wondered that there was no what?
Intercessor.
Therefore his
arm brought salvation unto him.
And his righteousness.
It sustained
Tell him
him.
what intercessor means. When Usher first came out, they sent him to Flavor Camp, I guess, to get him some swag.
God, that's to encounter, to meet, to entreat, to make intercession.
To make intercession, right? That man said he wasn't no intercessor. So he said his arm. That's that yard. That's the sun. Not you. Go ahead.
Where he put on righteousness as a breastplate.
He put on righteousness as what?
A breastplate.
And a helmet of what?
Salvation upon his head.
And he put on garments of what?
Vengeance.
Clothing.
And was clad with zeal as a cloak.
Tell him what breastplate is, man. Let me get on to this breastplate, then we move on back to the oil.
That's Shirion body armor. A breastplate, a coat of mail.
So there's going to be a different word from the breastplate you're going to see in Exodus. That man said a body armor. I want you to go back. The Ezekiel 28 and 13. I want you to read that one more time. Because this will still be an element of the Ruach, take us to something in Revelation, stuff like that, man. So it all work out. Ezekiel 28 and 13.
You have been in Eden as the garden of Alahym.
You've been where?
In Eden as the garden of Alahym.
You know what Eden means? You know what Eden means? It means pleasure. Good pleasure. Go ahead.
Every precious stone you're covering. The sardius, topaz, the diamond, the beryl, the onyx and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, the carbuncle and gold. The workmanship of your tabrets and of your pipes was prepared in you.
The workmanship of your what?
Of your tabret.
Well, tell them what tabret is one more time. Let's deal with that, man. Because I ain't deal with that in great detail because that ain't got nothing to do with Satan singing in heaven. I can tell you that.
Tophet, timbrel, tambourine.
Timbrel, tambourine. Genesis 31. Oh, we supposed to finish Genesis 42 too. I praise God. I deal with both. Look at the Lord. I almost forgot about that. Genesis 31 and 25, man. Matter of fact, Genesis 31 and 17. Well, shoot, make it 16. Genesis 31 and 16. Hold your Genesis 42 also.
For all the riches which Alahym hath taken from our father, that is ours and our children's. Now then, whatsoever Alahym hath said unto you, do. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels, and he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting which he had gotten in Padan Aram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's.
Jacob
stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, and that he told him not, that he fled.
So he fled
with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face to Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled.
He took his brethren
with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey.
They overtook him
in the Mount Gilead.
And Alahym
came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night.
Take heed
that you speak not to Jacob either good or bad.
He said, boy, don't say nothing to him.
And Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the Mount of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, what have you done that you have stolen away unawares to me? and carried away my daughters as captives with the sword. Wherefore did you flee away secretly and steal away from me, and did not tell me, that I might have sent you away with mirth and with songs, with tabret and with harp?
So listen, right? I didn't want you to see tabret being used. The other stuff is going to be a setup for something later on down the line. You see what he said? What is a tabret or a timbrel usually going to be associated with? Music, but a time of rejoicing, praise and worship type deal. 1 Samuel chapter 10. First Samuel 10 and 1.
Then Samuel took a vial of oil and poured upon his head and kissed him and said,
He took a vial of oil and did what?
poured it upon his head
And did what?
Kissed him
And said it what?
Not because Yahuwah have anointed you captain over his inheritance. When you are departed from me today, then you shall find 2 men by Rachel's sepulchre in the border of Benjamin at Zelzah, and they will say unto you, the asses which you went to seek are found. And lo, your father hath left the care of the asses in sorrow for you, saying, what shall I do for my son? Then shall you go on forward from thence, and you shall come to the plain of Tabor, and there shall meet you 3 men going up to Alahym to Bethel, one carrying 3 kids, another carrying 3 loaves of bread, and another carrying a bottle of wine.
What they carrying?
A bottle of wine.
No, they carrying how many kids?
3 kids.
How many loaves of bread?
3 loaves of bread.
And carrying a what?
A bottle of wine.
Why you think it's 3 loaves and three goats? 1 for Judah, 1 for Israel, 1 for the people. Let's go for the nations. Continue.
And they will salute you and give you 2 loaves or 2 of bread, which you shall receive of their hand.
They give you what?
2 loaves, which you shall receive of their hand.
And after that,
you shall come to the hill of Alahym, where the garrison of the Philistines, and it shall come to pass.
When you are what?
Come there to the city, that you shall meet a company of prophets.
And they will come down from what?
The high place.
And what they gonna have?
With a psaltery
and a what else?
A tabret.
And what else?
A pipe.
And a what else?
A harp before them, and they shall prophesy.
Pause for a second, man. Shalom, man. Okay, shoot, ain't no telling, man. This phone ragged is all outdoors, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold on 1 second, man. I'm definitely not trying to buy new. If I ain't got to, this phone paid for it. I'm gonna work. You keep that whole till that whole falls. God! You know what I'm talking about? I don't need no new iPhone. Every time I got an iPhone paid off, that whole stopped working. My iPhone 6 just cut off. Never cut back on. Like when that nigga just cut off. When I talk about cut off, I'm talking about cut off. Never came back on. And it's very hard, boy. Abigail knocked that phone. I forget which iPhone it was. That nigga hit the ground. That nigga caught fire. Literal fire. I'm talking about smoking. Flames. I'm like, damn. I gotta get another phone. Man, show that nigga all day.
No, I'm saying like the iOS updates.
Y'all know what you talking about.
Are you doing it?
It do it by itself.
Because it can't. Your phone can't use it.
Man, it's too late for that.
Yeah.
Doggone phone told me Face ID stopped working.
Oh yeah, you just going downhill.
That nigga say go to your settings. Face ID stopped working. I say, damn. I got a 12.
Oh yeah, but you said you had a 6.
No, I said my 6 stopped working.
That's 12.
Yeah, I got a 12. I can,
They're not supporting with updates. No good.
but listen, right? I know a lot of people say Satan was the worship leader in heaven. People just made that up, man. You ain't got no Bible for that. You just made that up. How you gonna go from worshiping to sinning? How that work? Matter of fact, you gotta ask yourself, where do you read that Satan was worshiping? See, let me show you something, so you know this nigga wasn't worshiping. Get me Job 38, man. Verse 7. Listen to what it said they do. Now I'm going to show you how you can disqualify Satan from being a worship leader real quick like. Job 38 and 7. Listen to it.
When the morning stars sang together and all the sons of Alahym shouted for joy.
When the who?
When the morning stars sang together.
When the who?
Morning stars sang together and all the sons of Alahym shouted for joy.
Sons of who?
Sons of Alahym shouted for joy.
What they shouted for?
Who shut up the seas with doors?
That's good. That's good, right? Now I know some people see morning star, that's Lucifer, that's the devil. See, he didn't read verse 6. Read verse 6.
Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened, or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together.
So he say they sang together when they seen this created. That's what he's saying, right? Mm-hmm. Now I want you to look at something else. Go to Job 1 and 1. Matter of fact, make it Job 2 and 1.
Again, there was a day when the sons of Alahym came to present themselves before Yahuwah, and Satan came also among them.
Now, how can Satan be a son of Alahym and his name literally means the adversary? So if he's the adversary, and it just said that the morning stars, because what the stars mean, that's Kokab. Now, it might be a different word for morning stars. Go back to Job 38 and tell me what the word is. Now, it just said the sons of Alahym and Hashatan. So you got the band or the ben of Alahym and the adversary.
Stars is Kokab. So
Kokab, Boca Kokab. Now, how is Satan the progeny of Mashiach? Now, how you know these people be lying to or tell you anything? Satan is a whole nother dude. You know how we know he a whole nother dude? Revelation 12 and 1, man.
And there appeared a great wonder in Shamahim, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in Shamahim, and behold, a great red serpent, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of Shamahim.
His tail drew the third what?
Part of the stars of Shamahim.
What else?
And they cast them to the earth. And the serpent stood before the woman, which was ready to be
delivered. He cast them where?
Before the woman.
Shalom,
cast them to the earth.
Cast them where?
To the earth.
Okay.
And the serpent stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto Alahym and his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Alahym, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. Mm-hmm. And it was war in Shamahim. Michael and his Malachim fought against the serpent, and the serpent fought in his Malachim and prevailed not. Neither was there place found anymore in Shamahim.
They say the serpent and his who?
His Malachim.
His messengers. See, the adversary got a throng of dudes that hang with him. Ain't got nothing to do with Satan being no doggone worship leader. That's fairy tales. You know what I'm saying? You know where these fairy tales come from, in my humble opinion? People who run cross stuff, and because their scriptural skill level is defunct and deficient, that they make things up that'll sound logical and plausible when people ask them questions that they can't answer.
This Revelation 12, this a future event or a past event?
No, part of it's telling you that most of that's past. The Shiach done already came. So part of that, what trying to devour the man-child, was when they were killing the firstborn in Rome by the Romans. You know what I'm talking about? The second one, this man done died and slid. And then it's giving you a snapshot into a war in heaven that then went down. And then you know what I'm talking about? Then it go to talking about how, hey, there's going to be some of us who going to overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony and won't love our own lie to the death. And then it's going to go to talking about the select few people that'll get hidden for that 3.5 year period while the beast running them up. That's how the chapter concludes. Then they go to talking about the beast himself in the next one. But we don't care about him today. He ugly. And he like to dig in his butt and smell it. Come on back to 1 Samuel chapter 10. Read verse 6. That was funny to you? Jeremiah James Bird. What you got going on, Jeremiah James Bird? find out. Go ahead, man.
And the Ruach of Yahuwah will come upon you, and you shall prophesy with them, and shall be turned into another man.
You shall be what?
Turned into another man.
Turned into another. Tell them what it means.
You shall be turned is to turn, to overthrow, to turn, to retire.
That's a good turn.
And then another, that's Aker, that's another.
After. That which comes after or following.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? So when you were a sinner, you want to come with that, or what's in Ecclesiastes, what could be done after the king come, or something along that line. We don't have to get it now, I ain't saying it. Ecclesiastes 1 and 14, or 1 and 13. What y'all got going on playing with soda bottles?
And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all that are done under Shamahim. This sort of travail have Alahym given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all vanity and vexation of Ruach. Crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered.
That's right.
I communed with my own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all that have been before me in Jerusalem.
That's right.
Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceived that this also is vexation of Ruach, for in much wisdom, much grief. And he that increased knowledge, increased sorrow.
I got you in the wrong spot. 2 and 12. My bad. Please ask these 2 and 12.
And I turned myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly. For with the man that come after the king, that which have already been done.
That which is what?
Already been done.
You can't do nothing but that what has already been done. Job 21. Now this Job talking. You can pick it up at verse 1 of Job 21.
But Job answered and said, hear diligently my speech, and let this be a consolation.
Tell them what consolation means.
That's tankum, that's consolations, comfort.
So let this be your comfort. Listen to what he say.
Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken, mock on.
Suffer me that I might what?
Speak.
And after that?
I have spoken, mock on.
That's what they did to the Lord now.
As for me, my complaint to man.
He said, as for me, is my complaint to man, and
if, why should not my Ruach be troubled?
So this is, look, he said he think he gonna take his complaints to man. When this man had a complaint, who he took it to? He took it to his Abba. You know what I'm talking about? Then what Jeremiah told you? Why should a living man complain for the punishment of his sins? Let him turn to seek to Yahuwah. That's why I go back when you telling that law, the book tell you about all that murmuring and complaining. That man don't rock with none of that. Shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? If you got a complaint, then go holler at him. If he don't deem it as a complaint, the nigga deal with it and shut up. Nobody want to hear that. Because this man had something to complain about. And he said, I ain't bringing it to you. You don't see Job complaining to his friends about nothing. What Job got in trouble was he was trying to justify himself because his friends was running their mouth. Go ahead.
Mark me and be astonished. Lay your hand upon mouth.
Even
when I remember I am afraid.
Tremble.
Take hold on my flesh.
Wherefore do the what?
Wicked live.
And become what?
Old.
And are mighty in what?
Power.
And their seed
is established in their sight.
And their offspring
before their eyes.
Their houses.
Safe from fear.
Neither.
The rod of Alahym upon
them. Now notice what he said. He said the rod of Alahym ain't upon them. What that mean? Ain't no correction. So he's saying, why do the wicked live and get strong in power? Their seed get established. We're going to see why the wicked live. Proverbs 1 and 25. Man, brother, we're talking about this along these lines. Not too long ago. Proverbs 1 and 25. This why.
But you have said at nothing all my counsel and with none of my reproof.
Matter of fact, give him 23.
Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my Ruach unto you.
See, this is what the wicked don't do.
I will make known my words unto you.
That's right.
Because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
No man what?
Regarded.
When that man was on that stick, he had his arm stretched out. Nobody regarded it. And it meant nothing to him. Go ahead.
But you have set at nothing all my counsel, and with none of my reproof.
None of my reproof.
I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear come. When your fear come as desolation and your destruction come as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahuwah.
Didn't choose it.
They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way.
See how your sins testify against you?
And be filled with their own devices.
And filled with their own what?
Devices.
Their own plots, plans, and purposes. I'm going to fill them with that. Isaiah 66:3. Hey, don't come back here with that, cuz. Make it one. It ain't going to hurt nobody.
Thus saith Yahuwah, Shamahim, my throne, and the earth my footstool. Where is the house that you build unto me? Where is the place of my rest? For all those have my hand made, and all those have been, saith Yahuwah. But to this will I look.
Who are you going to look to?
The poor and of a contrite ruach, and tremble at my word.
Let's do what?
Tremble at my word.
What else?
He that kill an ox, he slew a man. He that sacrificed a lamb, cut off a dog's neck. He that offer an oblation, swine's blood. He that
remember what an oblation is. That's a sacrifice. He said, you come with a sacrifice like you bringing me swine's blood. I don't want that, boy. Go ahead.
Incense, he baruched an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways and are so delighted in their
They've done what?
Chosen their own ways.
Let me tell you something, right? That's why I mentioned that earlier about like what a lot of ladies were talking about in regard. Because, you know, lady I know, she was like, man, something must be going on because they keep pressing this. But it's not really that the media is pressing it. What it is it brings to light in one arguments that are had online between men and women every day. See, this is something I told Tia on the Clubhouse a long time ago. They got real upset about it. The women in this generation don't want to be wives. They just want the validation of being married, but they don't want to be a wife. And you know why they don't want to be a wife? Because they don't want to come under the structure, order, guidance, and rule of a man. I've told y'all this for a long time. A lot of women want to be independently interdependent. So I want to be able to internally depend on you for your financial resources and your sexual gratification. But I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. See, I want the comfort of having a man, but the independence of being a single woman and moving how I want to move and not coming under your authority, vision, plan, rule, and power. That's not a wife. You can't marry that type of woman. So when you look at these women who have an infinitesimal amount of money compared to what Keke Palmer has, what they looking at is this a woman who has more money than her man. So that way, in their mind, we can dictate what this man can do. So then the ones who don't have no money, they like this here. You niggas insecure. You got little penis energy. You this, that, there, and the third. You know what I'm talking about? You can't control me. These are women who don't. See, you're supposed to pay attention to that, and you're supposed to pay attention if your old lady agree with it. Because then you know you ain't got you nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Because they revealing the way that they think. What the book tell you, man? The abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. You know what I'm talking about? So the more that you talk, the more that you know what's in a person's mind. And this ain't we get caught up because you looking at a gender war. This ain't got nothing to do with no gender war. You get to see how this person view life. This is the type of person that you don't engage with. See, the dudes coming on the side, these modern women, this, that, there, and the third, it ain't no need for that. Because these women over here are showing you who they are. That's it. They don't want a man telling them what to do. And you know what you jackasses do? You go try to get with a woman who telling you that she don't want a man telling her what to do. And you just be like, well, I just got to deal with it. I love her. You's a fool. If she want to dress like a whore, that's her bit. See, you know what you brother problem is? I told you a lot of times. You want to go off on the woman for not being the woman you want her to be. If that's who she is, bro, don't be mad at her. Let her be who she be. You know, like we from Florida, right? So you know, we were exposed to a rapper that a lot of people in other states were not exposed to. You know who that is? Civic don't know. You ain't from down here. Who it is?
I know a song.
What song?
Let 'em go.
Yeah, you know, this is the type of information. But not only just the song. If you grew up with niggas who were playing JT Money, they might have had the mind that JT Money had, and you supposed to know if she a hoe, let her go. Don't try to wife her. Don't try to love her. Don't try to be with her. If that's who she is, then that's who she is. It's that simple. That doesn't mean we gonna sit here, these women are this and these women are that. Ain't nobody got time for that. That beta male sent man down to activity. If that's who she is, bro, let her be. Ain't no need to talk about her. These wicked women. All right, bro, she's a wicked woman. Now what? You only saying that because she won't be what you want to be because you want to be with her. So what that say about you? You know what I'm talking about? You only talking bad about the woman because she won't conform so you could be with her. So you probably 3 times as stupid as she is because at least she honest on who she is. I know who I am. I don't want to listen to you. How many times I done told you, man, you got to look here, right? And I done had a few women who ain't in the word take this here. Man, most women don't want to work. They want the option not to work. But they want to spend money, but they don't want to work. You know what I'm talking about? See, you got to go ahead and deal with that. The difference is you want stuff, but you don't want to invest. It's the same token that everybody wants salvation. Nobody don't want to do the work. Didn't he tell them in John 8, if you were Abraham's seed, you do the works of Abraham? They wanted the benefits of being Abraham's seed, but they didn't want to do the work of Abraham. I want some money, but I don't want word. Same thing. It's no different. Everything's the same. It's not no different. There's nothing to be upset about. People are who they are. They're going to be who they be. You're supposed to have the wisdom. And we just read that. He said what Solomon said. I look out my window. I seen a young man void of understanding. You're supposed to have some understanding so you don't get caught up in that. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And that you can teach the young men. See, that's what really a lot of these older heifers don't care for. They don't want you to put the younger men up on the game. Because that's messing their hustle up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, that's like it is what it is, man. I'm different. Because like I said, I'm from a different time. I didn't see the need of clowning a woman because she is who she is. You know what I'm saying? No, when JT told you he hate hoes and hoes hate him, that was from a different scenario. I like hoes. Hoes look out. You know what I'm talking about? The problem is you get with hoes and you want to love them. You the nigga from Players Club trying to get the hoe out the strip club. You can't get her out of there, boy. That's a scallywag. I don't care what nobody say. You ain't no wholesome woman and you clapping cheeks for dollar bills. You know why? Because a wholesome woman ain't gonna do that. Use a hoe. But not like a hoe like y'all think about. I'm talking about a hoe like you in the game. See, it's a difference. You got hoes and you got hoes in the game. If you in the game, you interact with her differently. You know what I'm talking about? She's a different type of hoe.
Every weekend, you know, they in the game. They just play with you, try to get tips.
Give us tips. See, this is what you don't understand. She trying to give you the wife experience to get your money up out of you, and you falling for it. You goofy. You know what I'm saying? I know, man. Y'all ain't had your daddy, man. Ain't nobody tell you that. It's okay. You know what I'm talking about? But don't be mad at him, man. Just avoid him. Skirt out, get out of the way. We read it last night, man. He said if you keep company with harlots, what's going to happen? You're going to spend up all your substance. Look at Kalisha talking about, Trick Daddy got a song talking about you a hoe, but you don't know it. But you can't help it. He did, though. You know, the Miami women is different. It's a different ball game down there. There's people down there with some bread. They move different. There's people here with some money, but you got higher stake people down there that's more in the open. You know what I'm saying? See, people down here who got money, they ain't like them niggas down there. You know what I'm saying? We don't ride around to see Rolls Royce Phantoms and Lamborghinis and all that there on every corner around here. You go to Miami, you see that. Now, whether it's theirs or not, that's another conversation. You know what I'm talking about? Now, we know that from them gold digger videos them dudes be making. How you going from state to state? You got all them ain't your cars. You renting them out. I'm going to see if I can catch a gold digger. Well, if you're leading with your wallet, of course you're going to catch one, you dummy. I done played a couple for him Pacific, man. I need to get out of the car. Hey, I think you're gorgeous. I think you're revived. Let me get your phone number. You ain't going to get no hoes with that. I think you're a vibe. That's what you came with, bro? I don't advocate doing that, but you got to come with better than, I think you're a vibe. Nigga, you came. Come on, man. That's crazy, bro. It's a grown man talking about, I think you a vibe.
Somebody came up to me the other day. He was like, I'm a heart surgeon. He was like, they was showing me a picture of him and like the doctor. And
Man, nigga,
he was like, you think I'm a doctor? I was like, I don't know. He was like, yeah, because I got your heart. Something like that. I was like, what?
Oh, he came with a pickup line. I have to say it was corny, but it was clever.
No.
It was clever because you ain't see it coming.
Yeah,
She wasn't there. She was like, I got.
Shalom, Brandon, man. Yeah, you seem like this here. Heart surgeon. Oh, I know you. Oh, he make about $275,000.
That nigga stood out. It was clever, but you broke.
Ain't a man, broke bastard. Come on, man. Robert, where you at, man?
Isaiah 66.
Isaiah 66 and 4, man. One more time.
And I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear.
But they did what?
They did evil before my eyes.
And did what?
And chose in which I delighted not.
That wasn't gonna happen. When you do evil in his eyes, see, this is the thing he said when he called, ain't nobody answer. 2 Thessalonians, this what bro was talking about earlier, man. I don't know how to pronounce it. I always say it. But my nigga in Charlotte, man. That's what he was talking about earlier, man. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, man. Give me verse 5.
Remember you not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And now you know what withhold, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity do already work. Only he who now let, until he be taken out of the way. Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the ruach of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
All right.
Whose coming is after the working of Hashatan with all
His
power.
coming is working after who?
Hashatan.
So this man who coming, his power is after the work of the adversary. And one thing about the adversary, he is a subtle deceiver. That's what he is. Go ahead.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
With all what?
With all power, signs, and lying wonders.
Go ahead.
With all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish.
Notice what he said. All the what? Deceivableness of unrighteousness.
In them that perish.
See, unrighteousness, and guess what? That take you back to the law, because Eve was deceived by unrighteousness. What was her unrighteousness? She didn't believe. It always gets you, man. Unrighteousness will lie to you, man. It'll get you every time. It'll make you think good is bad and bad is good, and have you go after that which you ought not. And it had you rushing and speeding. That's what my homegirl was talking about. That's how she got caught up. Really could have just waited. You know what I'm saying? But like this here, I need to do this and do that. And I didn't even just going after unrighteousness. That's just more so of a situation. I want to do something for my kids. I want to try to make that happen right now. You know what I'm saying? Not really looking at what can happen from that choice. It's real simple, man. And all I'm saying is our desires can lie to us real quick, man. Get you caught up in a situation you don't want to be in. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't got to be nothing to the lengths of sin and death. Because what she got, that wasn't like the most horrible thing. And what them big rusty kids. You know how many of us done been in a doggone car 13, 14 years old waiting on mom dudes to come out of the store? Yeah. Yeah, because they were trying to make it seem like it was small children.
Yeah, they ain't trying to make it seem like it, but they ain't make it clear that it wasn't.
God, that's how you make it seem like, because the insinuation is these small children. Yeah. Them teenagers, man. Them 13, 14 years old, man. You know what I'm talking about? And they had the keys.
Yeah, it said that one was down the key.
Yeah, they had the keys.
That's come on. She got me for me.
No, I got you, bro. Because what you when I told you that, Caleb, I knew that I was gonna be able to work that in what we talking about. So you good. That's why I told you that. No, Caleb just saying he didn't want to interrupt the flow. But earlier I had told him Lucifer meant light bearer, and it reminded me to show him how Lucifer was the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told him that, because we were going in Ezekiel 28. I knew I could do both. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that when she didn't have no foul intentions. She was just trying to let me take some bread and try to double it up because I want to get them something. And I could get it for them, but they'd have to get it next week. But you know, sometimes your mind will tell you, go ahead and do it now. Try it now.
Show them put that you lost.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
400, you came out with 90.
Oh, because the purpose of it was to embarrass her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make her look a particular type of way.
Yeah.
And this, that, there, and the third. And like I said, that's why they didn't really want to mention how old Turin was. Nigga, them was teenagers, man.
Sometimes you got teenagers in the car.
And it wasn't in the middle of the afternoon. It was like 9, 10 o'clock at night.
You give her a bump?
Yeah, she got out the same day. And it been happening. No, she said it been happening. I don't know. That's what she told me last night. Let's see what Brayden had. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't use it because that's a real life of your desires can deceive you. Because that nigga knew I could wait. You know what I'm saying? And I could still be able to get them. Like I said, I won't say that's unrighteousness. I'm just talking about your desire. Usually when you get deceived by unrighteousness, you got some unrighteous desire. You know what I'm talking about? And then the next thing you know, what happened? No, it ain't even that one there. Like I just say she had to make a couple moves and really the disposable income I had to go get that, I ain't really have it. And I could have just waited till I got paid, but I felt like, you know what? Said basically, man, wanted to get them niggas a device because the baby got a device and they be fighting over it. And that junk aggravating, so I can eliminate that by just getting them both one and not have the aggravation. Y'all know about it. Y'all kids in the house fighting over stuff, how aggravating that can be. So I understand. You know, it's just normal nigga stuff. It just, hey, nigga made a move. Usually you would have left the children at the house. Mm-hmm. One time you don't leave him at the house, here come the police talking about, hey, man, his kids in the car. Or security, his kids in the car. But looking at the store, they made it seem like it was 2-year-old, 4-year-old, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, they'll paint the picture ugly on you now. Throw your milk shot up there for a real quick, like, post it up on Facebook, and on Instagram, look at this horrible person. You know what I'm saying? Look what these niggas doing. Whole time, this white man dressed up like a woman, sucking cock. You ain't got no problem with that, though.
Never post that.
You know what I'm talking about?
You pulled up and tapped on the window. This was all kind of stuff like that.
Absolutely. Know how many doggone politicians in this city done got caught in the Range Rover with the boy?
Right.
In the Range Rover with the boy.
What y'all doing in there?
What y'all doing in there? Come on, man. Boy, they were ready. I don't know. I did some white politicians like that. But boy, when they caught your boy, well, they ain't hold back. Some people like, oh, they set him up. No, they ain't set him up. That's how that boy live. You understand me? But you don't be in no room with no man, boy, getting that high skied up butt naked like that, boy, and that's your first time doing it.
I think that was around the time he was running.
Yeah, no, he was getting ready to run again. He had already took the L.
Something he was trying to do.
He had already ran for governor and lost.
It was right on time.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, you don't, how he got caught, ain't nobody set you up. You been doing that.
His wife, like, so she been knew he was like bad, I guess, and she was always stand by him regardless. Because a lot of people when the fam was like tagging her, like, we got your back, and we know you like us, but he been like that.
Of course he been like that. You think you get high on meth, butt naked with a boy?
Yeah. It ain't about her support, it's about
She's supporting because she want to be the governor's wife. She got greater aspirations. She don't care nothing about him. I mean, he can't do nothing but spin. Ain't no spin. He embraced it.
He was already in level. He was already coming like that.
Come on, man. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2.
Nah.
No, I know what you're saying, but he couldn't control the narrative. So all he had to do is, hey man, you got caught with some hot dogs in your buns. You gotta own it now, man. You the bun man. Bunny. That's what they call you. Come on, man. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. What verse? It is what it is, man.
Verse 10.
Verse 10.
Like got off because in New York and Florida, man. Like
I don't know, boy. He was down south. They rock with that down there.
Yeah, he was in the venue.
It's only North Florida and West Florida that they don't rock with that sister stuff. Central and South Florida, they down with all that. It's more liberal in Central and South Florida. It's conservative up here where we at.
the further south, the more up north coast.
Yeah, more loose it get. Well, it's not because it's up north culturally. It's more money down there. Down there in Naples, down there in Lauderdale and Broward, nigga got money down there.
You got money, anything goes.
Orlando, Tampa, anything goes. I mean, come on, man. Miami was built with cocaine money. You think they care about booty hole clapping?
It's the Miami Blast.
It's the Miami Blast, nigga. It ain't the Jacksonville Blast. It ain't the Orlando.
Miami Blast.
It's a Miami Blast, man.
Gillum was down there.
He wasn't even on the blast. That nigga was on meth. Nigga, that's a different drug, nigga. Ruling the state. That nigga got meth in his nose and a wee-wee in his butt. What in the hell's going on? Come on, man. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10.
God.
What the book say when the rulers wicked?
When the ruler's wicked, the people mourn. Say when the rule is pure, the people sad out there, man. Hold on, man. Let's get it for him, man. I'm talking about niggas be sad out here, man. It's bad. You know what I'm talking about? That's bad, boy. I'm talking about, and there's a lot of black folks. They were like, kill him. That nigga was getting gilled, all right. That nigga would have loved to meet the Buddha Ward. That's what they were calling them too. Proverbs 29:2, man. That's what they were calling him too, bro. They thought he was the next Obama. He was living in Obama's steed because shoot, Obama like that peen in his butt. I don't give a damn about them nigga. They need to be clowned, nigga. You gay. Y'all live in a different generation. I'm clowning nigga. Nigga, you bend over, let a man plug your butthole. You need to get ranked on every day. Every joke I can think of, I'm coming with it. You know what I'm talking about? You deserve them. You deserve them. You walk funny every day. You know what I'm talking about? You at the house grabbing your ankles. Nigga, what the hell you got going on? You know what I'm talking about? And then you want to try to direct somebody. Come on, man. Anybody listening to you, boy? I've heard 29:3. Man, nasty, nigga.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Sad, man. It's sad. Get what? And when the beast gonna go to ruling, people gonna mourn. I'm gonna tell you something. But when the beast get it, boy, probably gonna be a lot of butthole plugging and scissoring in. Bro, all jokes aside, bro, you got a whole wrestling group in AEW. Their whole gimmick is scissor me, daddy. And one of the wrestlers in the team is gay. And every time they come in the ring, they do this here. Sell t-shirt, all type of merch. These niggas love it. It took me a while to remember what scissoring was. That's a lesbian activity. Yeah, they like that. They scissor each other. They bumping coochies.
That's what I was like.
Yeah, it's 3 wrestlers. They be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, scissor me, daddy.
They girls though?
They men.
That's wrong.
You know what I'm saying? You remember Billy Gunn from D-Generation X?
They bumping pistols.
He one of them. And the other one, remember I showed you the dude who was rapping? That's them. Yeah, the nigga who was rapping, the Acclaim. That's the nigga name. And the little short one, that nigga gay in real life.
Sword fight.
Yeah, man, that nigga gay in real life. I never wrestle that nigga. You always want to, you out here, you got extra oil on, cuz. What's going on? Damn, nigga, you ain't well oil in your last match. They say, man, you got to be in the cage. Yeah, that's them right there, man. And they sell a lot of t-shirts, boy. They real popular. You know what I'm talking about? They popular off of lesbian lingo. That's the world we live in. that two heterosexual men can get rich off of lesbian lingo. Yeah, because Billy Gunn's sons wrestle in their company. Nigga look just like him, too. Billy Gunn, about 65 years old, talking about scissor me, dad. Come on, forgive it for you guys.
Definitely.
That's the world we live in, man. Come on back, man. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10.
That was cool, man.
That's the world we live in.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Alahym shall send them strong delusion.
Now they should believe a what?
A lie.
Because they what?
They all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
Since you like to do what wrong, he said, I want you to go to hell.
But we are bound to give
That's
thanks
right, Quran.
always to Alahym for you, brethren beloved of the Lord, because Alahym have from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Ruach and belief in the truth.
That's good, man. Back to Job. I got a lot of information to get. We'll crank them up. We just an hour and some change in. We ain't even did nothing yet. We start at verse my page. We start at verse 7. We can read 7 again. We're looking at some stuff to establish what a tabernacle is. Go ahead. Job 21:7.
Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, and are mighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes.
Their houses,
safe from fear.
neither.
The rod of Alahym.
So that's what we
them.
looked at. That's why the rod of Alahym is not on them. They're not getting corrected because he's giving them over to strong delusion that they should believe a lie. He's turned them reprobate. He don't fool with them. Go ahead.
Therefore, bull gendereth and fail not. Their cow calve and cast not her calf.
They send forth their little ones
like a flock,
and their children what?
Dance.
And they take the what?
The timbrel and the harp,
and rejoice in what?
At the sound of the organ.
And they spend their days in what?
And wealth.
And in a moment
go down to the grave.
Therefore, they say unto Alahym,
depart from us,
for we desire not
the knowledge of your ways.
Ain't that what you just seen in Thessalonians? Ain't that what you just seen in Proverbs? Ain't that what you just seen in Isaiah? Listen what he said. What?
The Almighty.
That we should what?
Serve him.
What profit should we have?
If we pray unto him.
That's tough. That's why I was telling you last night. Who give a damn about these celebrities, but how they live their life? You know what the problem is? Your problem is if you a grown person, I don't care if you in the word or not. As a grown man, if you got your son looking up to another man, you got a problem. You know what I'm talking about? It's okay if he like, yeah, I like to watch LeBron play ball. He shouldn't look up and say, I want to be like LeBron, and he look at you every day. If your son want to be a rapper, you failed as a father. And when I say want to be a rapper, not want to be a musician, I mean in wanting to be a rapper, a specific rapper. I want to look, talk, dress, and act like this man. And you sit there and look at this nigga every day? Nah, bro. You suck. You know what I'm talking about? It'd be different if it was somebody in the neighborhood they seen. You know what I'm saying? Like this. Nah, because if you in the house with your kids, man, I would hope your son would want to grow up and be like you. And if you ain't got no life going on where your son would want to grow up and be like you, then I guess you know this. You got some work to do. See, why you be my father?
Be my father.
Now I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why a lot of our people grow up and want to be like athletes and entertainers because they ain't got no dad. Because you don't see that from men who had their dad. Don't grow up and look and want to be like another man. Who the hell grow up and say they want to be Kanye West? What you want to be this nigga for? You know why nigga want to be these niggas, man? They don't want to be them. They want their money. So they feel like, let me act like this to get money. But anybody who tries to replicate what another man is a man who don't know who he is as a man. He got bigger problems. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, right, take the Satan worship booty hole stuff out of the play. Man, the entertainment business is not what you think it is, man. That junk is hard work. You know what I'm talking about? It's hard. It's no different than any other job or vocation, and everybody ain't built for it. Of course, we already know this in the music business. Most people in the music business fail. And they don't fail because they ain't sold their soul or their booty hole. They fail because most niggas' music won't become popular. For whatever reason. Whether it's engineered or whether it's not engineered. Nigga can have a record and won't hear from them no more because don't nobody like your music. You know how many records they done played on the radio, you realize they played it all the time, but it never got popular because they were trying to make a nigga popular, but nobody liked the song. You know what I'm saying? Then you know, and they've been paying for radio spins, and you done had nigga they playing the air out that record, and it never got any traction because you, no matter if you want a nigga to be a star or not, if the people don't like him, the people don't like him. Then you got niggas who ain't as famous as some of these people you see and got more money than them. But all the nigga want to see is Jay-Z. You're not going to beat Jay-Z. Even if there was no devil worshiping involved, that's a once-in-a-lifetime lick. Everybody not going to do what he did. Because you gotta lack scruples to be what he is. You can't be who he is unless you lack scruples. Yeah. Yeah, so not anything. And I'm talking about that ain't got nothing to do with no booty hole stuff. Just regular stuff. Whatever it takes. Because these boys say they live by a particular code. This nigga got a woman who worked for him that ratted to the feds. Like this, and this is known. That nigga don't care. Because he's like, what you niggas gonna say to me, nigga? I got $1 billion. Screw you. Then they look at Kanye and be like, he said all that stuff. He lost all his money to the Jews coming to get it. Man, look here, man. Jews or not, you can't talk about the people you doing business with and think they're going to keep doing business with you. You can't even be that stupid. Whether Jewish people had power or not, use your brain as a man. Stop trying to be a victim all your damn life. Bro, you can't be getting billions with people and talking bad about them and think they're going to keep wanting to get money with you. They not. You know why? Not because they give a damn about what you said, but because it's going to stop my money. And before I let you stop my money, I'll get rid of you. What it ended up happening with Adidas is they ain't had no choice. They had to fool with it. I don't think the people wanted to cut him off. They got boxed in a position, and they had to make a decision based off public relations and not money. Because I don't believe they had too much money into that to do that. That's not something they wanted to do. Yeah, they didn't want to do that. But when you think like a victim all your damn life and you a beta male simp angina pussy nigga, then this how you view everything like a broad. They coming for me. Nigga, you a man, you gonna say what you want to. Put it this way, man. You remember what Pop said that a long time ago, man. Real niggas do what they want to do, man. Whole niggas do what they can. If you a man, bro, you gonna say whatever you want to say. You don't give a damn what the people do. Because I'm gonna get my money regardless. So I don't care. You hear these grown niggas, you got regular niggas on the internet talking about you're gonna get canceled. How you gonna get canceled? You got a job, nigga. But when you got control of your life, who can cancel you? Why you even care? See, that's our problem. You walk around here on eggshell acting like a broad. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, let your nuts hang. Nigga, stop twiddling your nipples in the shower, nigga. That's what a nigga be doing. You know what a nigga doing?
You get this. I never would have thought a nigga did that. A lot of stuff going behind closed doors. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, man, that's how these niggas live. Come on, man. Where you at?
Job 21:16.
That's good right there. I want you to see verse 19 though. Look what he say he lay up for the wicked children.
Alahym lay up his iniquity for his children. He reward him, and he shall know.
That man said, I'm gonna lay up all the perversity of the wicked children. I'm gonna kill them. Remember, I told you, y'all already know what's in Job 19, man. What the children of the wicked made for? For the sword. That's what they made for. You know what I'm talking about? Children of the wicked made to get killed. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about they pass. I ain't talking about if the baby get leukemia and pass away. I'm talking about the sword, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Get you out of here violently. Ugly bastard. Come on back to Ezekiel 28. I didn't want y'all to see what that tablet is, man. Ezekiel 28 and 13.
You have been in Eden, the garden of Alahym. Every precious stone you're covering.
Hold on, give me one more. Give me one more. Isaiah 5 and 8. Isaiah 5 and 8. Give me one more.
Woe unto them that join house to house, lay field to field, there till no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. In my ears, Yahuwah of hosts, of a truth, many houses shall be desolate, great and fair without inhabitant. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield one bath, and a seed of an omer shall yield an ephah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, wine inflame them. And the harp, and the viol, the tabret, and pipe, and wine are in their feasts, but they regard not the work of Yahuwah.
You see how they say the tabret as well?
In their feasts.
So I just want you to see that this is dealing with mirth, gladness, joy, singing to Yahuwah. They got done. What's Satan singing to Yahuwah for? He ain't gonna be singing to Yahuwah. Get him 1 Peter 5 and 7. You got
Casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about, seeking whom he may devour.
Seeking who he may what?
Devour.
Go ahead.
Whom resist steadfast in the faith.
He told you to resist him what?
Steadfast in the faith.
He told you to resist him what?
Steadfast in the faith.
See, if you get tempted by the devil, the way to beat him is to stand on the word. That's what Yahusha did, didn't it? You're getting overcame by the devil because you don't stand on the word. What you think gonna happen? I've been telling y'all this for years, man. Satan can't, man, look at man. If you don't smoke crack, Satan ain't gonna come offer you no 40. You know you ain't gonna smoke it. He gonna offer you what you like. How many times I told you Yahusha ain't never get tempted with no coochie? He wasn't worried about no coochie. You know what I'm talking about? What's the best way to tempt him? Tempt him with what it is that he has to do and cause him to fail in the faith that he has in accomplishing the mission that his father gave him to do. That's what he tempted him with. He tempts you in what it is that you're supposed to be doing or what it is that you desire to do. That's why I told you the number one way that Satan try to get at a man is through his old lady. That's the number one way. That's why your mind always got to be set on loving God first. Because if you love that woman first, you an easy mark for the devil. I didn't say don't love your wife for the goofy niggas in the back. I said, man, if you put her before Yahuwah, if your mind ain't set on loving God first, you an easy mark for Satan because that's where your desire lays at. He can't tempt a man whose desires with God. What are he going to tempt you with? What did he try to tempt Mashiach with? Turn these stones into bread. I bet you won't jump off of here. Bow down and I'll give you all this stuff and all the kingdoms if you bow down and worship. He tempting the man with stuff that he know the man don't even want. How do I say that? Why I say that? What we were looking at in Judges 9, right? We've been looking at, right? You had the first thing, it was the olive tree. What he said the olive tree should lead from. The olive tree should I leave my what? My fattening. So that means I got wealth. Then the next thing was the fig tree, right? What he said he was going to lead. My sweetness and my good fruit. Well, I already got bread. I don't need to turn the stones into bread. Then what was the next thing, right? It was the vine. He said, should I leave my wine, that cheer of Alahym and man? I already got all that. I already got rulership and dominion. You're not offering me nothing that I don't already have. So I don't want it. See, we have our own desires about other things, and that's how he can get you. When your desire is knit together with Allah, what the book say, get it for him, man. 1 John chapter 5, man, verse 14. Listen to what he say. Listen to the apostle. What is you doing?
And this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us, whatsoever we ask, we know that we have the petitions that we desire of him.
I'm working.
If any man see his brother sin a sin, not unto death, he shall ask, and he shall give him life for them that sin not unto death. If there is a sin unto death, I do not say that he shall pray for it. All unrighteousness is sin.
All on what?
All unrighteousness.
You know how we know that? How you know that? Where you can find that in your law? He said all unrighteousness is what?
It's sin.
Where you can find that in your law? It's in Deuteronomy 25, and all unrighteousness is an abomination. Go ahead.
And there is a sin not unto death.
That's right.
We know that whosoever is born of Alahym sin not.
Whosoever is born of Alahym what?
Sin not.
Whosoever is born of Alahym what?
Sin not.
Whoever born of Alahym what?
Sin not.
Okay.
But he that is begotten of Alahym keep himself.
He do what?
Keep himself.
That means he guard himself, and the wicked one don't do what?
Touch him not.
So that's if you keep yourself, how he gonna touch you? You getting touched because you're not keeping yourself. You're not guarding the man's word, so there's a way for him to get in. Remember what it told you about if a husband and a wife not having sex, what it said you ought to do it by? No, he said by consent. Lest Satan come through and tempt you because of your inactivity. See, you don't want to deal with that. Satan can't look here, man. Y'all remember the old clip of the black dude who was asking his wife why she want monogamy, but then she wanted to have sex, didn't want to have sex with him? I done told you, that's how a lot of women get cheated on. Because you don't want to get a man no loving, and you think he's supposed to stay to the house and beat his meat or go without. And Satan going to come through and tempt him. That's not absolving that man of his conduct, but what do you expect will happen? You think that man supposed to sit in the back room, play with himself every day? Because you know what happened when dudes play with themselves too much watching porn. No, they wee stop working. All they know is hand. A woman ain't going to get him aroused. Oh, man, see, y'all don't know that, but there's a lot of niggas online. Them niggas have to tell them niggas, man, stop beating your meat. You know what I'm talking about? Because you got dudes who beat their meat so much that when they beat a woman, they can't perform. You ain't aroused by a woman. You aroused by porn. You like men. I've been told you that. You got to look at that, boy. If you always beating your meat, boy, you might be gay. The touch of a man turn you on. You know what I'm talking about? I know it sounds, but you got to think about it. You a man. Touching yourself. And then you get with a woman, she touching you, ain't turned on. You might be gay. So stop touching yourself and find out. I don't know if you like women. Stop touching yourself. Playing with yourself every damn day. Messing up all. Oh, man, I ain't going to say it. No, I was just thinking about that. This is where I was just thinking about what happened that day in Cleveland. No, boy. That nigga said, "Oh, go on it, Robert. You know all over my time." Boy, we done came in the house. This nigga Craig done messed up this nigga time. Hey, boy, we were down laughing for about a good 6 weeks off that one up, boy. This wasn't playing, cuz wasn't being over the top. Bro walked in that bathroom, that nigga went to cussing and stuff. Because that's all Craig did, boy. Walk on. Play with himself. And you know what made it worse? He could get women. It wasn't like he was a dude who couldn't get women. You know what I'm saying? He had no problem with that. But that boy, hey man, that boy like to touch himself a lot. Yeah, man, don't leave your life like that, man. Keep your hands to yourself. No, matter of fact, keep your hands away from yourself. What they say, man, stand out, just walk out with your hands up. Everywhere you go. Come on, man. No, we good in Peter, man. Where we at after that? Where we at?
I just read 1 John 5.
Yeah. We good in 1 John 5 also.
We're going back to Job.
No, see, back to Ezekiel 28. What you over there looking crazy for?
I meant to see you the video the other day. I seen the other day that said every hand you shake had a penis in it.
That's why you pound it.
Paul, no, don't pound it.
That was crazy.
He said, hey, yo, that was wild.
Damn. And that's true.
It is true. It don't matter if you were touching. It don't matter. You know what I'm talking about? It don't matter if he was playing, peeing, and freeing.
Yeah, definitely. All purpose.
All purpose.
Don't put your hand in your mouth.
All purpose.
All purpose. Lord have mercy. Ezekiel 28 and 13. Boy, hot back here. I mean, there's more niggas out there. There's more niggas in here. Michael, you to it. See, like, see how you be in church all the time? Oh, we were watching. Boy, me and D were watching some movie, man. Tyler Perry made, man. That whole nigga pissed me off to the utmost. Some old country pride movie, man. She really the name of the movie, man. The nigga name was Bayou.
Oh, yeah, with the white lady, the one who acted like she was white.
Yeah, that nigga.
That was.
Man, that nigga.
TP appealed all the ladies.
Man, that nigga was a damn
I
fool.
ain't never heard niggas say put the Tyler Perry move on.
That nigga said, that nigga, you know what pissed me off?
That's the only one.
Nigga, you getting money. You getting money. The Jew boy say, get your mammy there, move him up here. No, I gotta go back. That nigga like this nigga.
He tried to go back to say his mama shop. He should just had him come up there.
But the cracker told him that.
Yeah, he had an opportunity to go. He could have left right after that. He had
Nah, that nigga supposed to die. When I see that nigga talking about, he gonna come out here talking about, I'm tired of running. Nigga, you ain't even fight. Unless if you were gonna get out, nigga, you supposed to fall. You supposed to swung on one arm.
And then she probably went back. And then she stayed with her husband after that.
Yeah, nigga, you let these niggas take you and hang you. Nigga, you still didn't get the broad. You should have stayed where you was at.
It's a slave movie.
Nah, man, that's junk in the 40s, man.
It's on Netflix.
Nah, what is it?
I seen it. I seen the preview.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna watch it.
No, the film.
I just
You should.
I'm not sure.
Listen, right? No, listen. No, listen to me. Listen to me. I wasn't planning on why she cut it on. We was like, I'm sitting here, we'll just take it out. The film is not bad. The main character is a jackass. The nigga is the epitome of a beta male sent mangina. I'm talking about the epitome. This woman moved away. He woke this woman every day, not knowing where she stayed. Her mama got her from around there because her granddaddy was knocking her down. You know what I'm talking about? He get her, mom dude come get her. She, you know what I'm saying? She want a ball. She light enough the way she could pass for the persuasion for the occasion. You know what I'm talking about? Mom dude laced her with a white man in the deep south. But she ended up coming back to her hometown. Niggas recognized who she was. She seen this nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's who she want. Is the nigga from her childhood. They sneaking. He done pounded her. Got her pregnant. You know what I'm talking about? Talking about that was his baby. That was a white baby. That wasn't even a mixed baby. They told him it was his baby. So the movie ends when she real old. What it is it starts with the son reading letters that were written between the two of them. And then it's just telling the story. When it ends, it's the son coming in, dropping the letters. Mom dude's old. She listening to one of the nigga records. Sitting there. Now she realized from her son know what went down. She just goes weeping. But it was really her selfishness. Mixed me.
Lil Drake.
But I'm talking about, the purpose of the movie is a forbidden love. The nigga kept pressing to be with the broad. You know what I'm talking about? And then in her selfishness, because it's just showing this nigga died because you a selfish whore. He also died because he a beta male sent vagina. And that's my point. When you don't have a relationship with God, that's what you do. You do stupid stuff like that. Yeah, his brother told him. That's how he got killed. They slid back town. See what happened. The nigga slid somewhere. The nigga could sing. His brother could sing. But the brother was more talented. And the nigga was hating on him. And he was up there getting high. And he told me, see, he supposed to die because his brother told him, if you go down there, them crackers going to kill you. And I hope they kill you. And I want to be there when they do. And he took this stupid nigga with him. I'm not taking a nigga with me who want to see me die. You ain't the Lord. The Lord can take Judas with him. Man, that nigga told that nigga, boy, them crackers going to kill you. No, he ain't set him up. He set himself up. The man told you what he was going to do.
And as a brother, if you tell your brother that, that's love.
He told me.
Straight up, bro. That's love.
So no, why they kill the brother?
Because what it is they ain't killed the brother because he wasn't smashing on the broad.
She was passing.
Because the white man, just like you was sleeping with my wife.
They don't know that the chick is black. They think she white.
He's sleeping with another man's wife.
That's white. That's law.
That's law, yeah. Either way.
I was just saying because you slid.
And I'm mentioning that because that's a different time. See, we're not used to that time because there's a lot of women back in that time that if they were light enough to pass for Caucasian, they did it. You know what I'm saying? They did it. Just to have an easier life. You know what I'm talking about? But the chick didn't want to be with the white man. This was her mama's plan. You know what I'm saying? Her mama was... She didn't care about the bloodline. She like, they got the money, and I don't want to struggle. Her mama was like, you're not gonna mess this up for me. That's what she was looking at, nigga. I'm tired of being poor. This rich white man done came and got you, nigga, girl. Straight up. No, but see, he wasn't knocking her down yet. This was her first love. They took her away. You know what I'm talking about? This nigga never dealt with another woman in life because all he wanted was her. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe that's that man trying to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, and what does it teach young men? It teach young men to be a damn fool for love. That nigga died. And she still had to lay up under that white man every night. You dead, cuz. Come on. Man, you were getting money. You could have stayed where you was at, man. Something for your people, man. Pulled the move and slid on up there. Not go down there to get hung. I'm not finna go and get hung on. That nigga was in Chicago. Getting money. You go down south to get hung. This nigga literally said, I'm tired of running. And went right out there and said, Sheriff. Come on, nigga. And they hung this nigga. This nigga cop and they hung this. This nigga didn't run. This nigga didn't fight. That nigga didn't say, get your hands off me. None of that. What could she say? What was she gonna say? She was gonna get hung there. She had sense.
He ain't left that much. That's my man.
Cause now she wasn't supposed to be out there. They gonna hang her too. She no damn fool. That nigga supposed to stay on that bus.
You want to take me into the grave?
Nigga, I looked at her. Hope they gonna have to kill us both. See how much you love me.
Yeah, definitely. You was definitely gonna call.
Ezekiel 28. Ezekiel 28. I don't know what made that pop. That junk pissed. That nigga pissed me. That nigga was a pussy. You can love your old lady, but good Lord, I'm not getting home. No, I ain't gonna lie though. That's an example of it. Don't matter if she was married to another man. That was his old lady. You know what I'm talking about? Because she was emotionally attached to him. That was his old lady. It didn't matter what that white man had going on. That wasn't his old lady. That woman didn't want him. She loved that nigga. She was trying to figure out a way how to get away. She told that white man she was going to leave him that cracker look her dead in the eyes and say, look here, man, I'm going to have you come over here to the Tattahoochee River and you going in it, and I'm going to tell him it's an accident.
How about that?
Straight up and down. That's what he told me.
Look, plan already.
Look here, and he thinking she white. So what you think he would have did? She would
Hey man,
that's the world, boy. Hey, boy. Hey, man, we be talking that trash. Well, you better be thankful you were born when you were born. Cause I don't know if some of us could have been able to handle that. Nigga walking up to you talking about boy and all this here. And you like it killed me a long time ago. I don't know. I don't think I don't think I could have dealt with that. Not with the mind I got now, not being raised in that time, my mind would have been different. You know what I'm talking about?
I seen a little nigga on Facebook. Dude in Walmart. Come here, boy. Come here, boy.
Oh, you talking that comedian?
Oh yeah, but that jump was but that cracker was ready to bump, catch some cars. That boy was on probation. Well, I told the wife, go ahead to the car. And you can run his face right by your mouth.
Hey, you can't be out there playing with people.
Bro, that boy like, nigga, I don't know. It's not like that, boy. Strap his overalls up.
Let's get it. You can't play with people out here like that, man.
Playing too much, bro.
That's what some of them YouTubers gonna die after a while because they're gonna try the wrong person.
Definitely. You can't play like that. You can't play like that.
Ezekiel 28 and 36.
Yeah, you're right. That's gonna be next.
Yeah, that Spanish nigga who's doing stuff at Walmart. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait for that
I ain't
You have been in Eden, the Garden of Alahym. Every precious stone you're covering. the sardius, the topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle and gold. The workmanship of your tabrets and of your pipes was prepared in you the day that you was created.
You remember that what's the other one was? Not the tablet. What was the other one you said? The
The
pipe.
pipes.
That's a bezel for a gemstone. You did? You know what I'm saying? That's what that means. That's not pipes as forth as singing. That pipes as forth as a gemstone. The bezel or the socket for a gemstone. But I want you to look at the priest's robe a little bit. We ain't talked about the priest stuff in a long time, but we're going to talk about it today. Come over here to, we read Exodus 28 last night. Come over here to Exodus 39. Because I want to add one more thing in the play, and that's the Urim and Thummim, because we ain't talked about that in a while. Exodus 39, where we want to start at? Give me verse 1, man. Again, we talking about the priesthood garments.
And of the blue and purple and scarlet, they made cloths of service to do service in the Kadash.
And to make what?
Made the Kadash garments for Aaron.
Now do me a favor. Go to Daniel 10 and verse 1. Remember we were talking about people talking to Daniel fast and all that other type of stuff? That man wasn't fasting for what niggas be fasting for. That first one where he said only eat post, that man did that because he didn't want to do what? We talked about it. He wasn't desirous of the king's meat. You know what I'm talking about? That second thing when you see him where he said he ain't eat no sweet bread or drink no wine is because he was seeking to make confession for his sins and the sins of his people. So if somebody talking about they doing a Daniel fast, you be like, well, what you fasting for? Because if you ain't fasting to confess your sins, then you wasting your time. You ain't doing a Daniel fast. You just hungry. Come on, man.
In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Belshazzar, and the thing true. But the time appointed long, and he understood the thing and had understanding of the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth.
Notice that he said he was mourning for 3 whole weeks. No pleasant bread, no flesh or wine in his mouth.
Neither did I anoint myself at all.
He ain't even anoint himself.
So 3 whole weeks were fulfilled.
Mm.
And then the 24th day of the 1st month, as I was by the side of the great river, which is Hiddekel, then I lifted up my eyes and looked.
Y'all know where that Hiddekel River is located at, right? In your law, right? That's in Genesis, man. That flowing through where the Garden of Eden is. That flowing through the paradise of Alahym. Go ahead. Not that Babylon is the paradise of Alahym. That river flows through the paradise of Alahym. Go ahead.
Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen.
Clothed in what?
Linen.
Clothed in what?
Linen.
What else?
Whose loins girded up with fine gold of Uphaz.
Fine gold of who?
Uphaz.
What else?
His body also like the beryl, and his face has the appearance of lightning, and his eyes.
Now he's seeing Mashiach. We coming to look at this because he's seeing Mashiach with priestly garments on. That's what I need you to understand. I want you to go to Revelation chapter 1, verse 17. You can make it 14.
His head and hairs white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword, and his countenance as the sun shined in his strength. Mm-hmm. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. And he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, fear not, I am the first and the last.
I'm the first and the what?
And the last.
Don't Isaiah say about first and the last? How can Yahushua and Yahuwah be the first and the last? That don't make sense. Now do it. They both can't be it, can they? They might have not had his garments described here. We might have just read that for no reason. We did. It's okay. Let's come back to Exodus 39 before we get to this Isaiah 14 for Caleb. You read verse 1, right?
Verse 2.
Go ahead, listen to it.
And he made an ephod, gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen.
What's the ephod? Read it. Tell them what an ephod is, just for the people who may not know.
It's a priestly garment, a shoulder cape, or mantle, an outer garment.
The outer garment. Come on now, verse 3.
And they did beat the gold into thin plates and cut in wires to work in the blue and in the purple and in the scarlet and in the fine linen with cunning work.
And they made shoulder pieces.
For it to couple together by the two edges was it coupled together.
And the curious
girdle of his ephod.
Tell them what a curious girdle is, man.
Kasheb, a girdle, a band, ingenious work.
Ingenious work. Come on with it.
As Yahuwah commanded Moses. And they wrought onyx stones enclosed in ouches of gold, graven as signets are graven with the names of the children of Yasharal.
And he put them where?
On the shoulders of the ephod, stones for memorial to the children of Yasharal, as Yahuwah commanded Moses.
Why you think that he put the names of the children of Yasharal on his shoulders? Why the high priest got that on his shoulders?
Bearing the burden.
He bearing their burdens. See, this is what people don't really understand, that the high priest is always showing the aspect of bearing the burden. He got their names on there, and it's supposed to be a memorial for the sons of Yasharal for you to remember that the high priest carry your burdens. Well, how did the high priest of Aaron carry your burdens? Because the high priest of Aaron made a sacrifice for himself and then for the sins of the people. It literally says it in Numbers 18:1. Read it for him. See, pray be to Yahuwah. And we still got stuff we need to look at as forfeit sacrifices and all. We got a whole bunch of stuff. The stuff we've been dealing with, man, and we just been moving into other things. You know what I'm talking about? But
and Yahuwah said unto Aaron,
hold on, I'm trying to get this. But it'll give us an opportunity for you to see the law, because most people don't know the law that well. You know what I'm talking about? Not as well as they should know it, or they think they know it. Now Numbers 18:1. Listen to what it say.
Yahuwah said unto Aaron, you and your sons and your father's house with you shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary.
They'll bear the what?
Iniquity of the sanctuary.
So who carrying the iniquity of the house? The priesthood of Aaron got to carry that. Go ahead.
And you and your sons with you shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood.
They'll bear the iniquity of the what?
Of your priesthood. And your brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of your father, bring you with you, that they may be joined unto you and minister unto you. But you and your sons with you before the tabernacle of witness. They shall keep the charge and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they shall not come near the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor you also die.
So when you see that, what it said, Issachar, no, don't do that. Just let it sit and radiate in your skin. Don't never do that. Don't rub it in. You gotta let it sit. Just let it sit on your skin. Let the oil, see, let me show you. Just let the oil sit in there. Just let it sit and rest. Let it radiate. Huh?
What's radiant?
Then you got radiation.
That's not true.
You don't want that. That's nuclear stuff. You're gonna die. That's not good. No. You're not. No.
Nuclears and fire.
To an extent, it's made with atoms, very powerful and dangerous stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not a nuclear physicist, so I can't give you a detailed explanation. But I know what it is. But I can't explain it to you off the top of my head to where you would understand it. Let me put it that way. Since you don't have prior knowledge. But you know how to use a Google, don't you? You know, sit down and Google radiation and come back and tell me what it say when you do it. Can you do that? Very well. So, listen. Who carrying the iniquity? The high priesthood got to carry that. You understand? Zechariah 6:10, man. Let me go ahead and knock that out before we get any further.
Take up the captivity of Heldai, Tobiah, Jediah, which are come from Babylon, and come you the same day and go into the house of Josiah, the son of Zephaniah. Then take silver and gold and make crowns and set upon the head of Joshua, the son of Jehozadak, the high priest.
And make him what?
Speak unto him, saying, thus speak Yahuwah of hosts, saying, behold, the man whose name the branch. He shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of Yahuwah.
What else?
Even he shall build the temple of Yahuwah, and he shall bear the esteem, and shall sit and rule upon his throne, and he shall be a priest upon his throne, and the council of Shalom shall be between them both.
Listen, they use Yahushua, son of Jehozadak, as the example. Because I know some people, Yahushua, son of Jehozadak was never a king and priest at the same time. Didn't he say it was for the man who would be named the branch? Yahushua, son of Jehozadak, was never king. You can't find it nowhere in the book. He was high priest. He was never king. Zechariah 3:1. After that, Genesis 14 and Psalms 110.
And he showed me Yehoshua the high priest standing before the Malachim of Yahuwah, and Hashatan standing at his right hand to resist him.
Hashatan was standing where?
At his right hand to resist him.
See, guess what? That wasn't no man. That was the adversary. That was an unclean spirit. Because you know how we know that? We didn't read it in Daniel. Why did it say it? Why did Gabriel say it took so long for him to get the message to Daniel? So what? Who can tell me why the book say it took so long for the message to get to Daniel? Gabriel said it. No, that would have just said, he said the prince of Persia withstood it. But you really think a man can stop? You think a man could stop Malachim? Gabriel literally said the prince of Persia withstood me. So what did this mean? It means one thing, right? Number one, Satan does have minions that will work to stop information from getting to you that Yahuwah wants you to get, but he don't have the power to stop it in its entirety. See, this is one thing that we don't want to really kind of deal with, just because, and I think I mentioned this to somebody. I might have mentioned it to y'all. I just know I mentioned it not too long ago. You remember the story in the book of Elisha, in the book of Kings with Elisha, when they were finna get ready to go down with them Syrians? And he opened everybody's eyes so they could see all them Malachim that was surrounding the camp. But the people, before he did that, the people had no idea that there were angels everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? He opened their eyes for a split second to allow them to see that which is unseen. You know what I'm talking about? So when you read that Psalms 91, when he tell you what the devil tried to tempt Mashiach with, that the angels will bear you up in your hands, so jump up off of here. That's why he said, don't tempt Yahuwah your Alahym, because you trying to prove him that he gonna save you. Why would you do that? You already know he gonna save. What you trying him for? He ain't got to prove nothing to you. You already know what type of time he on. But the point of the matter is, it's Malachims that could be all around you all the time, good or bad, and you just can't see him. You know what I'm talking about? Remember what it said with the Malachim with Balaam? That boy was standing there with the scroll ready to take him out. Whole time. Balaam ain't know he was there. That Malachim was there the whole time. The whole time. All he doing is waiting on the order. What it said in Ezekiel, it was Malachim going through killing. What it said during the time of David, it was Malachim doing it. The people couldn't see him. But they there. You know what I'm talking about? More than likely, with many people who serve Yahuwah, you'd have been in a situation and circumstance where Malachim spared your life. You didn't know it. You just thought it was a regular thing that occurred. Some things it just happenstance and it didn't happen to you. And some things be the Malachim or Alahym operating according to the direction and instruction that he give them to spare his life. You know what I'm talking about?
Same about your boy. He was stuck on that couch that night. That bullet went through his eye.
Yeah. I know he wasn't serving God, so clearly the Lord was with him.
When you was talking about a couple weeks ago, as far as waiting on the Lord.
To an extent, but that's more so of talking about the invisible things that go on around us that our eyes can't behold. So we're oblivious that what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? Because you know how people like to say this stuff, you got guardian angels and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Get that Psalm 91 for him. Sis. I can't even remember what verse it is. That's right. Quran said that. It said, remember what it said in Daniel. He said, this vision was set to give to you the minute you started praying. And it took 3 weeks to get to it. Because that's what it said. Gabriel said, man, the minute that you went to opening your mouth, the commandment was given for me to come give you this here.
I feel like that's what I need more understanding as far as like every time about this war time, like how it's war outside of it.
Well, the Malachim ain't fighting against each other on this plane.
No, I'm saying not on this plane. I'm saying on that plane as far as how that translates to how it's going to be in the end.
Just war, saints versus sinners. That's all. That's really about it. Simple as I can put it.
Because I'm saying the war in Shamim not over. They still fighting on the ground that we can't see right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're not fighting on the realm that we can't see. That war already been done. Once them boy got put out, that was over.
That's what I'm saying. So how he was fighting.
No, he wasn't fighting him. He was resisting him. He would hold him up. Same way you see, like it said, well, we in that Zechariah when it said Hashatan at his right hand resisted, he trying to stop something.
So that ain't them fighting though. As far as like the niggas.
No, not fighting. Fighting. Go to Daniel. Tell him what the word resist means. Hold on, Yasha. I got you. Hold on. Calm down, son. You all right? You need a cold beverage? You do? That's gonna be $5.55. You got my money? So you mean to tell me you ain't got my money? You got money in your pocket? But you ain't gave it to me. Hold on, man. Let me read it for you, man. Daniel 10 and 11. Said, and he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto you and stand upright, for unto you I am now sent. And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. Then he said unto me, fear not, Daniel, from the first day that you did set your heart to understand and to chasten yourself before your Alahym, your words were heard, and I am come for your words. But the prince of the Malkuth of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. Now I am come to make you understand what shall befall your people in the latter days, for yet the vision 4 days. So, verse 13 is the verse you're talking about right there, Yasha. Give him withstood, because that's the word that's used. Withstood.
To tarry Ahmad, to stand, to remain, to endure, to take one stand. And then it's to tarry, to stand with, to take one stand, to come on the scene, to stand for, to rise up or against.
Rise up or against, he withstood him. He say he had to get a little help. Because you got to remember, right, what vision was Gabriel bringing to Daniel? You think about chapter 9, but he get the vision that's in chapter 11. The beast. So this is what the king of Persia is trying to stop, if you would. How it's going to go down at the end with this particular man. What movie? What was the name of that movie? It was with Bayou. Yeah, I got to tell you, Sir Tyler Perry on Netflix. It might have been Bayou something. Jasmine Blues, but yeah, this Sir Tyler Perry on Netflix, and when you see an old goofy looking nigga talking about some forbidden love, yeah, Shonda said Jazz Man's Blues. A jazz man, not Jasmine, a jazz man. He should have been a jazz man. That's only if you could. I don't know, niggas, just a damn movie. If you, I don't know, some people, I don't want to spoil it. I'm looking at movies for the technical aspect of the performance. You know what I'm saying? The storytelling. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
I'm gonna say the resistance at Zechariah 3 is just Satan. Be an adversary.
Yeah, I know that ain't gonna be no resistance.
These man need help. Niggas definitely not.
He just got a little hold on him, man. Let me grab hold to you, man. Hold you up a little bit. I ain't trying to let you get to where you're going. Finish that Zechariah 3 before we go in front. He's just trying to hold you up.
How frequently you feel like that's happening?
It happens a lot. I mean, when you look at it from the aspect of the wicked one, of what Gabriel will bring it to him, you can see why he wouldn't want Daniel to get it. You know? But then you know what's funny? Daniel got it, and we got it, and niggas still don't know what they're talking about. That's the sad part. You know what I'm talking about? But praise be to Alahym in the name of Yahushua. He don't let us catch the drift. Because we can see it, we see what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? It's going down. This man gonna say he God. This man gonna blaspheme. This man gonna make moves, and people gonna give up their kingdoms. You know what I'm talking about? We know that this man gonna be an Edomite. Not because we got a problem with Esau, but because we know that the covenant was made, was either going to Jacob and Esau wanted his time to have a piece of that covenant. And he willing to kill by it too. Go ahead.
And
Zechariah 3:1.
And he showed me Yehoshua the high priest standing before the Alahym of Yahuwah, and Hashatan standing at his right hand to resist him. And Yahuwah said unto Hashatan, Yahuwah rebuke you, O Hashatan, even Yahuwah that have chosen Jerusalem, rebuke you. Not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Yehoshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the Alahym. And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, take away the filthy garments from him.
Take away the what?
The filthy garments from him.
And give him what?
And unto him he said, behold, I have caused your iniquity to pass from you. I will clothe you with change of raiment. And I said, let them set a fair mitre upon his head.
Set a what?
Mitre upon his
Who
head.
the only person can wear a mitre? High priest. That's it. He said, let me clean you up. Get you right. Ain't nothing, the mitre ain't nothing but a turban. Go ahead.
So they set a fair mitre upon his head and clothed him with garments, and the Alahym of Yahuwah stood by. And the Alahym of Yahuwah protested against unto Yehoshua, saying, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, if you will walk in my ways, if you will keep my charge, then you shall also judge my house, and shall also keep my courts, and I will give you places to walk among these that stand by.
That's good. We already know from Ezekiel 46 who keeping his course. It's not Yahushua son of Jehoshaphat. It ain't him, but he using him as imagery of something to happen. Because come on, man, how is Satan gonna be sitting here stopping a man? You know what I'm talking about? He said, you got filthy garments. Let me put your clean one on. You don't already should know you got filthy garments on. You got this flesh on. Let me give you the clean linen, which is the righteousness of the saints. Let me give you that. Let me give you a change of clothes because you the high priest, because you can't come into the priestly spot with what? Not with no filthy garments on. You can't do that. You can't do that at all. You know what I'm talking about? But it's just an aspect of it. Satan will all. I done told you this before, right? When Yahushua was walking and them evil spirits seen him, what did they say?
Come to torment us.
But what else did they say besides that? He said, we know who you are. You are the son of Alahym. And then he said what y'all just said. Are you come to torment us before the time? So why did I mention that? Satan already knows who belongs to Yahuwah and who don't. You might think, see, Shalom, Sister Kelly, we the only people walking around here thinking this man don't know what's going on, and you don't, that man already know who belong to who. Then Yahushua say, I know those that are mine. You think if the Lord don't know whose is his, you don't think Satan don't know? Yeah, they already know. That's why I done told you. If somebody is a sinner, you need to be wise in your dealings with them. You know what I'm talking about? Because Satan can control and rule over them at any time. It don't have a, what did we just read? He that born of Alahym said not to keep himself, and the wicked one don't do what? So get what? If you ain't born of God, the wicked one can touch them at any time. You know what I'm talking about? And it ain't got nothing to do to say, oh, these people are so wicked or stay away. No, nigga, you got to have something. That's what wisdom is. That's how you're not void of understanding, because you're going to understand that. Hey, I know my rules of engagement with them got to be this, that, and the third, because I'm already knowing. The wicked one can touch them at any time. And if they can touch them at any time, that could be detrimental to me. So I got to be wiser than your average bear. You can't be walking around here mystified and stupefied because this is such and such to you. You's a dummy if you do that. What I mean by dummy, you're hearing the truth, you're reading the truth, but you saying, no, that ain't going to happen. That doesn't make sense. Ron said, how are people saying you can't see the name Yahushua in the Old Testament and Zechariah 3:1 literally? Hey, man, that's them, man. You know, you got to see that stuff and don't see it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know, you got to let people speak. You got to let people have what they going to have when it comes to that. You feel me? You know, it is what it is, man. Let me make sure I get this Isaiah 14 for Kenneth. What we were going after that, Zechariah? I said Psalm 91. Yeah, but that's on the high priest tip. We'll swing to that in a second. I wanna touch on the aspect of the Malachim camped out for you, man. Psalm 91 real quick. Then Genesis 14. Let me see what verse I want, man. Psalms 91 and you can make it 7, man. Psalm 91 is 7.
1,000 shall fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand. It shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Only with your what?
Eyes.
He said, man, everything go down. What's going to happen to the wicked? You ain't got to do nothing but watch.
Because you have made Yahuwah my refuge, the Most High your habitation.
Therefore, there shall
no evil befall you,
neither shall
any plague come near your dwelling.
For he shall give his Malachim
charge over you
to keep you in all your what?
ways.
And they shall bear you up
and hands,
lest you dash
your foot against a stone.
So how else the Malachim gonna do that unless they encamp you? That's why Satan came to the Lord and was like, "Hey man, go ahead and jump off," because as it is written. Because if God with you, this is what the Malachim supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? What did he tell you Malachim were for? To be ministers to the heirs of salvation. Genesis 14:14. Hey, don't come over here with that.
And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his train, born in his own house, 318, and pursued unto Dan. He divided himself against him, he and his servants by night, and smote them and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot and his goods, and the woman also, and the people. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Kedorlaomer and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he, the high priest of the Most High Alahym. And he baruched him and said, "Baruch Abram."
Now we just want to get that. He said he was king of Salem and the high priest of the Most High Alahym. Psalms 110 and 1.
Yahuwah said unto my Lord, "Sit you at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. Yahuwah shall send the rod of your strength out of Zion, rule you in the midst of your enemies. Your people willing in the day of your power, and the beauties of Kadash, from the womb of the morning you have the dew of your youth. Yahuwah have sworn and will not repent,
that you are
a priest forever
after the order
of Melchizedek."
Now pause, right? Because we still talking about that breastplate. Because I want to get the faith and love part before we get out of here. But I'm going to start in this Isaiah 14:8. And we'll deal with this. Those of y'all who've been around here for a while, you already know what we're finna look at. So I'm going to make this swift as possible, but as detailed as possible for Caleb. So verse 9 says in Isaiah 4, or verse 8 says in Isaiah 14, "Yea, the fir trees rejoice at you, and the cedars of Lebanon, since you are laid down, no feller is come against us." Tell them what laid down means, Sid.
Shakab, to lie down. To lodge, to take rest, to sleep, to stay. To cast down.
To cast down, also to die. Tell them what feller is. Remember how I said the cedars of Lebanon? Didn't we just read about the cedars of Lebanon?
That's karab, to cut off.
To kill. Mm-hmm. He says, since you've laid down, we ain't got death with us no more. Because what has he done? He's put to death. Get him Hebrews 2:10, man. He has destroyed him that had power over death. That is the devil. Because what does John 11:25 tell us? I'm the resurrection and the life. Whosoever believe in me shall never taste death. You believe that?
For it became him for whom all things and by whom all things, and bringing many sons unto esteem, to make the captain of the salvation perfect through suffering.
Perfect through what?
Through suffering.
Okay.
For both he that sanctified and they who are sanctified.
All are what?
Of one.
For which cause?
He is not ashamed to call them brethren.
Go ahead.
Saying, I will declare your name unto my brethren. In the midst of the assembly will I sing praise unto you.
That's right.
And again, I will put my trust in him. And again, behold, I and the children which Alahym hath given me. Mm-hmm. For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood,
he likewise
took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil.
So through death he might destroy him that had power over death, that is the who?
The devil.
So that's what he can mean, since you are laid down, no fella has come against us. You understand? See, you looking at a fella coming against you because you worry about these nations. You ain't worried about niggas. Satan can't touch. Ain't that's what we just read in 1 John chapter 5, verse 17. Devil can't touch it. Since he laid down, the devil can't touch it. But you don't want to be born again. You know what I'm talking about? Verse 9 of Isaiah 14. Hell from beneath is moved for you to meet at your coming. It stir up the dead for you. All the chief ones of the earth it have raised up from their thrones. All the king of the nations. Tell them what hell mean on general principle.
Sheol.
Grave. The grave has been moved. Tell them what move mean.
Ragaz, to tremble, to quake, to rage, to quiver, to be agitated.
To be agitated. Tell them you're coming.
That's both. To go in, to enter, to come in, to enter.
To enter into, to hit up, stir up the dead.
Stir up is or to rouse oneself, to awaken to
So you mean to
incite.
tell me you think a man or the devil is awakening the dead and graves are moving when he arrived? He's smoking crack.
The dead is Rafal, Ruach are the dead, shades, Ruachs.
Dead. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17. Well, I think it's 4 and 14. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 14.
For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will Alahym bring with him.
That's right.
For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive remain unto the coming of the Lord, and shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from Shamahim with a shout.
And the voice
Of the archangel, and with the trump of Alahym.
that's in Isaiah.
And the dead in Mashiach
27 to be specific. And the dead in Mashiach shall what?
rise first.
Now we can't go nowhere and see any man or any Malachim being able to move graves. Because that's what it say. The graves from beneath are moved at your coming, and it awakens the dead. John chapter 5, verse 25.
Truly, truly, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Alahym,
What's going to happen?
and they that hear shall live.
What
For
else?
as Abba hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself, and have given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man.
That's right.
Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in the which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice.
All that are in the graves will do what?
Hear his voice.
What's going to happen?
It shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life,
And they that done evil,
unto the resurrection of damnation.
that's not the devil. Damn sure ain't no man. Isaiah 14 and 10. All they shall speak and say unto you, are you become weak as we? Are you become like unto us? Give me what weak mean, man.
Kalah, to be or to become weak.
Give
To
me
be wounded.
to be what?
Wounded.
Give me like unto us. We just read it, right? Then it said he was made a little lower than the Malachim for the sufferings of death. God done became like a man.
To become like his mashal. To represent, to liken, to be like.
So you like us. They know that the person they talking about is greater than them. Well, remember, Isaiah is a what?
Prophet.
And the testimony of Yahushua is the what? So every prophecy is pointing to him and things that pertain to him. Why? Because it's the word that Yahuwah gave. And Yahuwah and Yahushua is one and the same, because they are, the objective is for Yahuwah to fulfill the will of his Father, whom you have never met, whom you have never seen, whom you have never heard, and whose name has never been uttered unto you. Isaiah 14 and 11. Your pomp is brought down to the grave, the noise of your vials. The worm is spread under you, and the worms cover you. Tell them what pomp means.
That's Gaon, your exaltation, your majesty, your pride.
So your majesty. That's right. When did Satan ever become weak like us and go to Sheol? Never. Now notice he said, what did you say pomp was again? Your honor, right? Your esteem. Your pomp was brought down to where?
Great.
Give me John 17 and 1. Ain't no not that far.
These words spake Yahushua and lifted up his eyes to Shamahim and said, Abba, the hour is come, esteem your son, that your son also may esteem you. As you have given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as you have given him. And this is life eternal, that they might know you, that the only true Alahym, and Yahushua Mashiach, whom you have sent.
Now we just starting that. Was not his esteem brought down to the grave? Matter of fact, here's a better one. John chapter 12, verse 23.
And Yahushua answered them, saying, the hour is come that the Son of Man should be esteemed. Truly, truly, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die
It abide,
alone,
but if it die,
it bring forth much fruit.
go ahead.
He that love his life shall lose it.
Go ahead.
He that hate his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal.
Go ahead.
If any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servants be. If any man serve me, him my Abba honors. Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Abba, save me from this hour. But for this cause came I unto the hour. Abba, esteem your name. Then came there a voice from Shamahim, I have both esteemed and will esteem again.
That's good. So his esteem got brought down to the grave. Tell him the noise of your vials. Because this is another verse that people say, see, this is how you know he was singing in heaven. You over here farting, boy? You stink. You were farting, boy.
Noise is him, yah, that's sound, or music of instruments, a sound or a noise.
Vials.
Nabel, a skin bag, a jar, a pitcher, a bottle, a pitcher, psaltery, a vessel, a vial.
So you know, and we know that one there from Ezekiel 31, right? When he say, man, you are like one who play an instrument, you know what I'm saying? And they hear your words, but they won't do them. Because what is this? A skin pitcher, a jar. Your voice got brought down to the grave. It said worm. Tell her what worm is.
That's Ramah, a maggot, a worm, as cause and sign of decay.
What's the other word for worm?
That's Tolah, a warm, scarlet stuff, crimson.
And you know what that crimson represent? Because he said in Isaiah, though your sins be, get it for him. Isaiah 1:15. I can't remember. What's the dude's name that wrote Paradise Lost down? Yeah, John Stuart Mills. But the name of the book where the teaching, he just came up with everything. He did. Hey, but the teaching that Lucifer is the devil comes from a book called Paradise Lost. That's where it comes from. And also the Catholic Church. They created that doctrine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they just made it up for whatever reason they wanted to make it up for. It's only relevant because when we get to that throne in here, that's why it's relevant. And when we could go back to tie to Genesis 42, because it's relevant in the aspect of offering yourself as a sweet savor or a sacrifice that's acceptable to Alahym, because it's a sacrifice that's the wheat, the oil, and the wine. You know what I'm talking about? It's all of them. Where you at, man?
You said Isaiah 1:15.
Yeah, tell me what that said.
When you spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. When you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood.
Go ahead.
Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil.
Go ahead.
Learn to do well. Seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow.
Though your sins?
Come now, let us reason together, saith Yahuwah. Though your sins be as scarlet.
Though your sins be as what?
As scarlet.
As what?
Scarlet.
Now they be what?
As white as snow.
See, that's why you turn around and you see scarlet cover you. Because what they put, type of garment they put on it. They put a red robe on it because he's supposed to have been symbolic of what? That scarlet heifer. And if the ashes of the heifer sprinkling to the flesh make you clean. Yeah, and then right there said, and then of course Quran going with the technical aspect, which we don't talk about too often. That Coccus ilicis worm, it gets stuck to a tree and dies so its young can be born from it. You know what I'm talking about?
That was the crimson girl.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It stick to a tree. Mashiach was stuck to a tree so you could be born from it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing to do with no decay and all this other stuff these niggas be lying up about. They don't know what the hell they be talking about. Isaiah 14:12. He said, how are you fallen from Shamahim, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Are you cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? Get them. Lamentations of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 1.
I'll have the Lord cover the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger. Cast down from Shamahim unto the earth the beauty of Yasharal.
He cast down from where?
Shamahim.
Who he sit down there? The who?
The beauty of Yasharal.
Oh, so I guess the devil is the beauty of Yasharal, because Lamentations tell you about somebody got cast down too. Lamentations tell you about somebody who got cast down too. Now it said the son of the morning. We just read about the morning stars earlier, right? In Job. How you gonna be a being? Tell her what morning is in that passage in Isaiah.
The morning, that's Shakar, that's dawn. The morning, early light.
So this is the son of light. How Satan the son of light? Don't come at me talking about he transformed himself into an angel of light. That man said he the son of light. That's what it means. You know what we were going to get to with that Urim and Thummim? You know what Urim and Thummim mean? Perfect light. That's literally what it means. Both of them words. The two things they use to speak to Yahuwah, Urim and Thummim mean perfect life. Perfect life. Oh, bet. Praise Yahuwah, man. Let's look at the next thing you say, right? Get cut down to the ground.
Cut down is gadah, to cut, to hew, to chop, to cut down.
Yeah.
Cut off.
He got two phones going, man. He said, give him weekend. Then nigga say, dang, how Civic go to the chapter so quick and start to read, man. I can't get there quick enough. That nigga got two phones going, bro. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't that good. Don't let him trick. I'm talking about thick molasses too, boy. I'm talking about straight off the tree.
What you did weaken is kalash, to be weak, to be prostrate.
Notice it say to make weak, to make prostrate, or to bow down. So when he got cut down to the ground, what did it say? Look unto me, all you ends of the earth, and be you saved, because every knee shall bow and every tongue gonna confess. You know what I'm talking about? Now we get to verse 13. For you said in your heart, I will ascend in the Shamahim. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Alahym. I will all sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Get me eyes at Psalm 68 and 19. Now, of course, this Psalms is going to represent what you see in the book Kings, 2 Kings to be specific. When Elijah went into Shamahim and Elijah said, man, what I'm going to do for you before I slide, man? He said, man, let me get a double portion of your spirit, man. He said, well, you don't ask a hard thing. He said, but nevertheless, if you see me when I slide, I'm going to do it for you. And when he seen him when he slide, it said, prophet said, the Ruach of Elijah rests on Elisha. So see, that take you what you see over there in the book of Acts, when the apostles watched Mashiach ascend into Shamahim, you know what I'm talking about, and receive the Ruach. See, I can remember this here. See, I caught that one there with the Kings and a few other things, man, on my way to the gym in 2013. I remember that one there, walking right down Hartsfield, Forest Drive. You understand me? Yeah, man. I was thinking about something else. Oh, that drop. I remember that one there. I don't remember a lot of them, but I remember that one. You know what I'm talking about? So when we read this Psalm 68 and 19, tell me what it say.
Baruch, the Lord load us with benefit.
Well, back it up to 16. I got you.
Widely view you high hills, the hill Alahym desire to dwell in. Yea, Yahuwah will dwell forever. The chariots of Alahym 20,000, thousands of Malachim, the Lord among them, Sinai, and the Kadash. You have ascended on high.
You have done what?
Ascended on high.
And taken captivity what?
Captive.
And gave what?
You have received gifts for men.
Received what?
Gifts for men.
Even the
rebellious.
That Yahuwah Alahym might what?
Dwell.
What did we just talk about dwelling last week? Who name mean dwell? Zebulon. And how was Zebulon able to be named dwell? Because what did Leah say? No, she said Alahym is giving me a good dowry. You know what I'm talking about? That dowry was that blood. You understand? So now you looking at this when you see Lucifer, because you don't read nowhere where Satan talking about he want to go to heaven. Satan want to rule on earth. See, this is the thing. You don't read about Satan fighting Yahuwah. You read about Satan fighting the Malachim. You know what I'm talking about? And they fighting the Malachim because of what? Because that man said, well, you got to go. Remember the book say that Satan gets tossed in the earth with great wrath because he only got a what? So that man already know. We already talked about it earlier. What the evil spirit said, you come to torment us before the time. Them boys already know they taking the L. But Yahuwah say, you know what? I'm going to let y'all do what you do for a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? But when the time up, boy, I'm coming to see you. Just like what we were reading in Romans. Let's go back to Isaiah 14, man. So we dealt with the ascending to heaven. Let's deal with him exalting his throne above the stars. Psalms 45 and 7. You should know why his throne is above the stars. The stars is the Kokab, that's the Malachim. And if his throne is above the stars, and we just read Melchizedek is what? King and priest on his throne. Which is what you see. This is the thing you see that the beasts don't get to emulate. Because who was emulating the high priesthood for what we did that last night? Babylon war. But he said he was God. He don't get to emulate the priesthood of Melchizedek. See, that's one of the elements that you pay attention to when you catch, you know this nigga a liar. You know what I'm talking about? That's why you got to know your law. When you know your law and you go in the Gospels. I forgot. I heard somebody say something. I forgot what it was, but it was basically what the word said. What he told you at the beginning. The end. He letting you know how it play out from the dump. That's what a lot of brews don't realize. You think when you start in Genesis, you see in the beginning, but in reality, you see in the end. You just don't know you see in the end because you don't have the understanding to realize what you're looking at. You don't realize when you get to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, these epistle letters and Revelation, you looking at the beginning. But you think you looking at the end and it's changing something when really your understanding ain't where it need to be, my G. You really don't know book like you think you do.
You think that the beast will try to imitate Chelsea did because he is going to be king?
I'm only saying that based off what we read.
No, I'm saying that because when they say he's going to have intelligence with the people, he's going to be teaching the people, so he's trying to be king and priest.
Well, he going to come off like, he a lawgiver, like it say in what's the name? In Genesis 49.
No, I can feel like I can see him be like, I'm Jehoshaphat, I'm king and priest.
But I can say that because when we look at the purple and scarlet, who got it? It's like he's not described with it. That was, and he got a false prophet riding with him to tell people to listen to him. You know what I'm talking about? But it's mainly because the whore got the purple and scarlet, and he's not described with it. It's not to say that he couldn't. I just can't show you that out of the word and say that. Go ahead.
You love righteousness and hate wickedness. Therefore, Alahym, your Alahym have anointed you with the oil of gladness above your fellows.
Above your who?
Your fellows.
Above your who?
Your fellows.
Tell them what fellows is.
That's kaber. That's united, a fellow, a companion, an associate, knit together.
Knit together. You don't think Yahushua and the Malachim knit together? Hebrews 1 and 5. And for those of you who ain't been around, we've been on this for a long time. Literally 10 years plus. That's why this is a light matter. Some people are like, these niggas blaspheming and all this type of stuff. But nah, man, it ain't that serious, bro. Go ahead.
For unto which of the Malachim said he at any time, you are my son, this day have I begotten you.
Where you going to read what Satan is a son? Because it said Lucifer, son of the morning. Isaiah is getting a vision from Yahuwah. So where you going to see Satan being called a son? Read it again.
For unto which of the Malachim said he at any time, you are my son, this day have I begotten you. And again, I will be to him an Abba, he shall be to me a son.
That's right.
And again, when he bring in the first begotten.
That's Psalms 89 that he referring to.
He saith, let all the Malachim of Alahym worship him. And of the Malachim, he say, who make his Malachim ruachs and his ministers a flame of fire.
That's good. So now let's look at it as Psalms 48 and 1 so you can see the amount of the congregation in the size of the north.
Great Yahuwah, greatly to be appraised in the city of Alahym, the mountain of his Kadah. Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth, Mount Zion.
Mount who?
Mount Zion.
You can read Isaiah 2 and 1 and see that that's the amount of the congregation. Go ahead.
The sides of the north, the city of the great valley.
The sides of the who?
Sides of the north.
So the sides of the north is the throne of David in Jerusalem, man. He's sitting on that throne of David as what? King and priest simultaneously, because he's a priest after order of Melchizedek. Isaiah 14 and 14 says, I will send above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. What did we just read in John the other day? He said, me and my Abba are what? Then they wanted to stone him for blasphemy. Because you being a man, make of yourself Alahym. But tell him what I will be like means.
That's the mall, to be like, to resemble.
What did John 14 and 4? Listen to that. He said to be like, to resemble, right? That's what it said, right? John 14 and 4.
And where I go, you know, and the way you know. Thomas saith unto him, Lord, we know not where you go. How can we know the way?
That's right.
Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
That's right.
No man come unto the Abba but by me. If you had known me, you should have known my Abba also.
That's
From
right.
henceforth, you know him and have seen him.
He said, if you'd have known me, you'd have known my who?
My Abba.
And you would have done, you'd have did what?
Have seen him.
Go ahead.
Philip saying unto him, Master, show us the Abba, and it suffice us.
How long have you been with me?
Have I been so long with you, and yet you have not known me, Philip? He that have seen me, have seen the Abba. And how say if you show us the Abba?
If you've seen the Abba, then would he not be, I will be like the Most High? Because I resemble him? And you know, we could go into that in great detail, because when Yahuwah declared his name, what did he say he was? Merciful, gracious, abundant in goodness and truth, long-suffering, forgiving sin and iniquity. And we can sit back and see him showing mercy on the man with the palsy, being gracious on raising people, children from the dead, having long-suffering for not wanting to crack them people across the head when they moved him to anger, when he was trying to heal the man with the withered hand. You can see how much abundant of goodness he had every time he fed the people. And we can see that what we read in Matthew 9 last night when he forgave that man's sins. So that's plain as day. You know what I'm talking about? It's not hard to ascertain. It's not hard to ascertain. It's not hard at all. You would have seen that. You should have seen his father. Didn't he say, I come in the likeness and image of my father? What's wrong with y'all? How the hell the devil going to be like the Most High? Because you know why? Because the only thing you looking at is power. Like that's the only thing that make up who Yahuwah is. Since you don't know Yahuwah, the devil want to be like the Most High. How? If he a rebel and an adversary, how he going to be merciful? How he going to be gracious? How he going to be that? Then Yahushua say, you of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do what he said he was. So you already know that ain't Yahuwah. From the jump street. So he already can't be like the Most High because he a killer. Verse 15 of Isaiah 14 says, yet you shall be brought down to hell to the sides of the pit. Boy, Satan ain't never went to no grave. Now notice it said before all this can happen to Lucifer, he got to die. So now we've established that ain't the devil. Let's go back to Exodus 39. But Caleb already said he can see it, so he understood it. If people understand it, they understand it. If they don't, they don't. It is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? Go search the scriptures and see if those things are so. Because I ain't here to push coddle or be like this, that, and the third. We fully persuaded on our end. Indeed. And you know, we were looking at a little bit of Ezekiel 31 last night. What was that? Let's get to this breastplate, man. Verse 8.
And he made the breastplate cunning work, like the work of the ephod, gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen.
It was 4 square.
They made the breastplate double,
a span,
the length thereof, and the breadth thereof double.
And they set in 4 rows of stones. What was the first stone?
Sardius.
What?
Topaz.
And what else?
Carbuncle.
Pause. That's for the first 3 rows. That's for a tribe. Now, some people know what stone go with a tribe. I do not. I never took the time to look into that because I didn't care enough. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? If you aware of what stone go with what tribe, you go ahead and share that. What's the second row got?
Emerald, sapphire, and a diamond.
And what the third row got?
Ligure, and agate, and the amethyst.
And what? Now the ligure, agate, and the amethyst are the only 3 that aren't mentioned in Ezekiel 28. Go ahead.
In the 4th row, a beryl, onyx, and a jasper.
And wait, or what?
Enclosed in ouches of gold in their enclosure.
Tell them what an ouch is, man. You got an ouch? Bop. You got an ouch? Bop.
That's mishbetzah, plated or filigree or checkered work. Settings for gems.
A setting for a gem. Now, what did we read about that breastplate to have it on in faith and what? Love. Let's continue. Verse 14. And the stones.
According to the names of the children of Yasharal.
According to their names.
12. According to the names, like the engravings of a signet.
Everyone with his name.
According to the 12 tribes.
And they made upon the breastplate chains.
At the ends.
A wreathing.
Work of pure gold.
Now that's good, right? I want you to read verse 21.
And they did bind the breastplate by his rings unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loose from the ephod, as Yahuwah commanded Moses.
Didn't anybody find where that's at with the what stones go with what tribe?
Yeah.
What?
It's topaz.
Hold on. I'm gonna call them out like this here in this first row. Who is Sardis? Who does Sardis go with?
Reuben.
Go with who?
Reuben.
Now Reuben is him who is affliction. So typically, what I want you to do is, I do it because it's gonna work. What you can do is go to Genesis 29 and 21 and read that. So when we look at sergeants, that word is odem. It is ruby. It is carnelian for redness, a precious stone. It's olive, it's dalet, it's noon. So we see the strength of the sacrifice give life. What does Reuben name? Read that Genesis 29:21.
And Jacob said unto Laban,
Oh, they ain't what we drop down a little bit. Might be 30. We're going to do something we ain't did in a while. We're going to run through these names of each of this man's sons and what they mean. Genesis 29 and 32.
And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely you who have looked upon my affliction.
So in the look upon of the affliction, you got the odem for the sapphire. What does it mean? Olive, dalet, mean. The strength of life is in the sacrifice. What's the next one we got? Topaz. Who is Topaz?
Simeon.
Simeon. Tell me what that one name means. That should be right behind Reuben.
Simeon is heard. His name means heard.
Alahym is heard. With me, read it. Read it.
And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because you will have heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also, and she called his name Simeon.
So they said, because he's heard that I was what?
Hated.
That they hated me without a cause. What Job name mean? To be hated. So that's letting you know that, hey, if you with Yahuwah, you could be hated. The word for topaz is pitdah, topaz or chrysolite, precious stone. You got pay, samak, dalet, and hay. So now we have grabbed hold to the words of the sacrifice of the man with raised arms. Because you were heard, because you were hated, because you'll be hated by all nations for his name's sake. The next one we have is carbuncle. That's Levi. They go in that order. Go ahead and read Levi.
And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. So
Levi means joined. For the carbuncle, it is baccarat. It is a gem. It is a precious stone, possibly an emerald. You have bat, you have raj, you have kuf, and you have tau. So now what it is here, right? You have the light of the covenant, which was given unto you by the Son of the Highest, because he's joined. You understand? So now we go to the second row, which is an emerald. And who is that?
She conceived again and bare a son, and she said, now will I praise Yahuwah. Therefore she called his name Yehuda and left bearing.
So we know Yehuda means praise. And for emerald, it is no feck. A precious stone in the high priest's breastplate, perhaps an emerald, turquoise, ruby, or carbuncle. It is noon, it is pay, and it is ka. So when you got ka, what you got with that, right? Got a little print in your hands. You got a little sacrifice. You have heard the words of sacrifice bring forth life. Therefore, you can praise Yahuwah. Because see, it was son I was going to bring with, what his name is? That ain't what the other son name. With Seth, with compensation. And then men began to call upon the name of Yahuwah. Because, you know, that's a whole nother deal. When people like, why you got to say in Yahushua's name? Because he done given you another son. But that's another seed. But that's another conversation for another day. Sapphire. Who we got for Sapphire? Who? Zebulon. Go ahead with it. Yeah, you might be in. You're gonna have to jump in. Now it might be different once you get into chapter 30. Stop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you out. Zebulon.
30 and 20.
Yeah, that's the one we just talked about. Zebulon. Is it Genesis 30 and 20 for Zebulon?
And Leah said, Alahym have endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons, and she called his name Zebulon.
We talked about that last week, right? Now with Sapphire, you got Sapir, Samak, Pei, Yad, and Raj. So now you have grabbed hold to the words of the Son of the Highest, because he paid a good dowry so that he could dwell with you. How else he gonna dwell in you unless you grab hold? Diamond. Issachar for diamond. That's
18.
Genesis 30 and 18 with Issachar. Make it 17.
And Alahym hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the 5th son. And Leah said, Alahym have given me my hire. said, I've given my maiden to my husband, and she called his name Issachar.
So Issachar means God has paid me. The word for diamond is it is. That's what we talked about that last week, Ron. Yahalom, Yod, Hay, Raj, and Meen. It's a precious stone, perhaps a jasper, onyx, or a diamond. So now you got behold.
That's Lamont.
Huh?
That's Lamont.
Yeah, that's what I said. My bad. I definitely said it right. So you got Yod, Hay, Lamad, and Meen. So now when you're dealing with getting that higher, since you got that Lamad, you either have the shepherd or you have teaching. So you have the teaching of the Ruach. So behold, the right hand will teach you of the Ruach, and that's how you're able to get your higher, because he's going to teach you in the faith of God, of the righteousness of Alahym. Now we on the third row, a Legura. Dan means judge. So, but you can read the passage though.
It's the verse 6.
Genesis 30 and 6.
And Rachel said, Alahym have judged me, and have also heard my voice, and have given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan.
Now that Ligur is Lashem, Lamad, Shem, and Meen. So now what you got that? You've been paired to the shepherd's blood. So now you've been judged righteously. Let's go to the next one. It's an Agad.
Yeah.
Now you got Gad. You know that's true. But read it for him anyway.
Verse 11.
Verse 11 of Genesis 30.
And Leah said, a troop come, and she called his name Gad.
And that is Shabu, Shan, Bat, and U. So now what do you got that? You've been secured and paired to the house. And you done it because of a troop of people who took the son and took him out. Amethyst. Asher.
That's verse 13.
Genesis 30 and 13.
And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me Baruch, and she called his name Asher.
Now, Asher means blessed. You got the word, it is Aklamah, it is Olive, it is Kai, it is Lamad, it is Meen, and it is Hay. So now what we got with this here, right? We don't have to say son with that olive. We'll take strength, and we'll see the strength of the shepherd has separated us to behold the Ruach, and therefore you're blessed. Because what was his strength? Not my will be done, but who? Now on this last row, you got a what? A barrel. Who's the barrel? Naphtali.
That's verse 8.
Genesis 30 and 8.
And Rachel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I prevailed. She called his name Naphtali.
So now you're dealing with Naphtali, you're dealing with the ability to overcome tribulation. Now that one there is Tarshish, Tau, Raj, Shan, Yod, Shan. Now you see how there's been a consuming of the Son to pair you to the covenant of the highest. That's why you're blessed. Well, that's how you've been able to prevail, because he was consumed by reason of his suffering. Let's go to Onyx. Joseph. Yeah, that's the first son. What's the name had?
Okay, yeah.
30,
23, 24.
What it is? 30 and 22.
And Alahym remembered Rachel, and Alahym hearkened to her and opened her womb. And she conceived and bare a son and said, Alahym have taken away my reproach.
And his name?
She called his name Joseph and said, Yahuwah shall add to me another son.
So Joseph's name means God has taken away my dishonor. Shoham is the name of this particular stone. It's Shan, Hay, and Meen. The son or the man with raised arms was consumed to bring forth the Ruach. And that's how Alahym is able to take away your reproach. The last one being Jasper. And that's Benjamin. You got to go down a little further now. He the last one.
That was the one we said. Mama named something.
Mama named him Biona. Yeah, that's another. That's Genesis 35. You won't find him in fact. I would say he further on down the line. He the last one. He the youngest boy. He gonna be relevant, y'all willing, when we go back and look at 35 and 16. When we go back and look at Genesis 42. Go ahead. Genesis 35 and 16.
And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was but a little way to come to Ephrath. And Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. And it came to pass when she was in hard labor that the midwife said unto her, Fear not, you shall have this son also. And it came to pass as her soul was in departing, she died. And she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin.
Tell him what Benoni mean, man. Now, Benjamin means son of my right hand.
And Benoni is son of my sorrow.
So before he was the son of his right hand, he had sorrows. Of course, you know Isaiah 53 tell you what? He was a man of sorrows. This particular last gem is Yah Shephe. Yah, Shan, Pei, and Hey. So now you can look how the right hand has paired you. Behold the words and be paired to the right hand. And that's how you become the son of his right hand. But when you behold the words that be paired to the right hand, there's going to be some sorrows before you become that. Now, the last thing we want to talk about before we get off of here, man, is the Urim and the Thummim. The Urim and the Thummim. I think that's Numbers 8. You could get Leviticus 8.
Okay.
I want you to go verse 8 and 6. Leviticus 8 and 6.
And Moses brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water. And he put upon him the coat and girded him with the girdle and clothed him with the robe and put the ephod upon him. And he girded him with the curious girdle of the ephod and bound unto him therewith. And he put the breastplate upon him. Also
Put the what?
The breastplate upon him.
And then he put in the breastplate what?
The Urim and the Thummim.
And then he put what on his head?
The mitre upon his head.
Also upon the mitre, what else?
Upon his forefront did he put the golden plate.
The what?
The God's crown, as Yahuwah commanded Moses.
And then Moses took what?
The anointing oil.
And anointed what?
The tabernacle.
And everybody?
Therein, and sanctified.
Now that's good. Let me tell you what this Urim and Thummim is, man. I mentioned it to you before we get out of here. Urim is lights. It is Arim, Olive, Raj, Ud, and Mim. Thummim. That's perfect. You should be able to hear that tum or that tom in that in itself. It's perfection. Tau, Mim, Ud, and Mim. Now I didn't want you to think about that because that's what's in the breastplate. Shalom, Jedediah. That's what's in the breastplate. The 12 tribes is in the breastplate. So that's how you can see his faith and love, because he's steadfast in love to his wife. And then inside of that, it's in the breastplate, he holds the lights of perfection. Because do y'all know what they use the Urim and Thummim for? To be able to talk to Yahuwah. So what you look at that, not only are the tribes in there, but then it's the light of perfection, and in him was the light, and the light was the life of men, and that light is what is able to make a man perfect. And that's what's inside the breastplate. So when we go back and look at Ezekiel 28 and 13, and we see these stones set in this breastplate and what they set for, we know that that's not the devil. And we know it is pointing to a man who's going to be sitting on the throne as king and priest, because what does the book of Revelation say? By the blood of Mashiach, we've been redeemed to become what? I'll get it for him. Revelation 5 and 8. So if you redeemed to be that, guess what that makes you? What does your law tell you? He said you would be a kingdom of what? If you were a kingdom, guess what that would make you? That would make you a king. So the aspect is to show the priesthood of Melchizedek was always the plan. Revelation 5 and 8. Tell me what it says.
And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts, 4 and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of saints. And they sung a new song, saying, You are worthy to take the book, to open the seals thereof, for you were slain and have redeemed us to Alahym by the blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and have made us unto our Alahym kings and priests.
Made us unto Alahym what?
Kings and priests.
Made us what?
Kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Get them Revelation 20 and 5, man, on the screen. That's right. That's what it say, Karan. That's what it say.
But the rest of the dead lived not again until 1,000 years were finished. This, the first resurrection. Through Kadash, he that had part in the first resurrection.
Upon
the second So death have no power.
What else?
But they shall be priests of Alahym and of Amashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
If they reigning with him, guess what that make them? Kings and priests. Why wouldn't they be kings and priests after the order of Melchizedek if that's the priesthood he in? Why would they be any different? But see, all that pertaining to that last one, that bramble. He said, if you will anoint me king, then put your trust in my shadow. But if you put your trust in his shadow, these are the things you're going to get. And then you notice that each stone was representative of the action of each son who was assigned that particular stone, which is all speaking to the work what this man came to do in order to make you perfect. Oh, when she saw God, you seeing rulers. So yeah. He talking about with the witch of Endor. When she said she seen gods ascending out of the earth. You know what I'm talking about? He said that pertains to the first resurrection. Because when you're looking at that, that's divine rulers. Ain't that what Psalms 82 say? You'll be a ruler. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, we touch all of that. This remind me of it, man. But hallelujah for y'all who shot the word, man. We'll start right there for now, man. We about 3 hours in. So I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all in the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua, man. Love y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Just weigh and consider, man. We got some more stuff, man, on the technical aspects of the stuff we're looking at, man. Because we still got to get in Genesis 42. We still need to talk a little bit more about that oil. We still need to hit Proverbs 27 and 9. You know what I'm talking about? And a few other things. But praise be to Alahym and Shamahim for wisdom and understanding, man. Preferably you understood what you heard. If you got any questions, you can let them go now because we talked about a lot of things.
I guess I'm trying to see why it's short 2 stones in Ezekiel.
Oh, because
and then the 2 stones is short. It's amethyst and ligure. That's Dan and Asher on the ephod.
Well, you know what it say? Dan will judge himself one of the tribes of Israel. He was an adder, by the way, because Dan get replaced.
Right. I figured that on Dan, but I ain't get Asher.
Well, not replaced in that aspect, but ain't no telling. They just might have just got, you know what I'm saying? That'll cause us to have to speculate.
No, I was just saying word-wise.
No, that's what I'm saying. It'll cause us to have to speculate.
Because I was thinking, is the high, like we talk about the high priest covering or taking on the sins of the tribe.
Yeah, and that's what we didn't get to, because that's what the breastplate is about. And we'll get to that, y'all willing, on Wednesday, because that breastplate is about him bearing and carrying the house of Yasharal.
So I would think it would be mandatory that it would all be there in Ezekiel, because he's saying that he was showing the breastplate from the beginning. When they say you was,
it's all right. You can ask me, Yasha. Go ahead.
When they say you was in Eden in the garden with these stones, it's only 10 stones.
Well, technically, how many sons did Jacob have?
Well, I guess that would make sense if you're going to use the national Eden from the beginning. That's why I was thinking maybe it would have not had Joseph and not them 2. That's why I looked at who the stones was that was missing. Like maybe that be. But
hold on, man. Yeah, Yasha got a question, man. Go ahead with it, bro. It don't matter, man. It ain't got to be on some old. We talk about this, so you only got to ask about this. That ain't the play. Sit down, son. Anybody else though? But once he asks his question, man, we'll slide on out of here. Hey, man, that man looking for you. They're looking for you. Yeah, they're looking for you. He said he was reading Judges 19 today. How does that relate to the Shia? Pop open Judges 19.
Hey, go sit. Sit down.
Just read from verse 1. I'll get an idea what it's talking about.
And it came to pass in those days when no king in Yasharal that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim who took to him a concubine.
That's what I thought it was. So yeah. Shalom, bro. So when you dealing with Judges 19, man, and if you remind me, I can go into greater detail on Wednesday or on the Sabbath. So just remind me. You know what I'm talking about? But that's dealing with the man, the Levite priest, whose wife was his concubine, I should say. She slid. So when she slide, he found out her daddy house. You know what I'm talking about? He go back around there. They chilling, they hanging out decent. So when it's time to slide, you know what I'm talking about? There's some niggas come around there, they like this here. Hey man, we want some booty. Benjamites to be specific. You know, they go to banging on the door, man. We want booty hole. You know what I'm saying? He like this here. You know what I'm talking about? He like, hey, man, don't do that, man. I got a daughter. See, some people get offended by that. How can he get the daughter to get raped? He say, better the daughter get laid with than this man booty hole get to. You know what I'm talking about? But then, of course, you know, they ravaged the woman and killed her to the daylight, which is symbolic of what they did to Mashiach. You know what I'm talking about? And then after that, the Levite priest cut her body into 12 pieces and sent it out into all the tribes of Yasharal, showing forth the apostles, bringing forth that word. You know what I'm talking about? And that's just what I remember off the top of my head without opening up the book. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, remind me about it, man, Wednesday or Friday or y'all willing Saturday, whichever one, man, the next time you're on there, man. And we'll slide that in for you, man. That ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Shoot, I don't even know if you got my phone number. You could just call me and I'll show it to you then. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works best for you. If you don't got it, I'll put it right there for you, man. If not, a little bro, just call me, man. You know what I'm talking about? And we could go through it then, man. You know what I'm talking about? Either or. And that's for any of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no junk like, oh, man. All you gotta really do is ask, man. You want to holler at me, man? Shoot, holler at me. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? But we ain't got nothing else, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep holding it down, man. Y'all willing, man, to the next one. All right, club.